Podcast Doesn't Exist, episode 59, man. 58. Welcome to another edition of Podcast Doesn't Exist, a Tuesday edition. Second Tuesday in a row. Let me know if you guys like Tuesday or Monday, but we had to go Tuesday. I was a little sick. And Jack got drunk yet last night.
Oh, I didn't.
Don't expose me.
There's at least one person in the comments threatening to kill the fanatic if you don't release. So I think they like Monday better.
Kill the fanatic. Good luck. That guy is untouchable. That guy's been around for 50 years, 60 years. Do not kill the fanatic. Do not kill everybody, anybody, or everybody. Just love yourself and your neighbor and leave a nice comment and subscribe. Right off the bat, we're looking good so far. So it's been a great week in MLB. A lot of wild, gross shit going on. I don't know if you saw the Rays guy. This guy throws up on the mound in the first inning. So you thought you had a bad week. This guy throws up on the mound in a major league game. We got guys throwing up on the field. A player got injured on the field. A fan threw a ball at a player on the field. That player is now injured. We'll check in on him. They banned the national anthem, which is terrible. I mean, they banned. Motherfuckers are getting ejected for doing the national anthem. PCA is beefing with fans again. He won't stop beefing with fans. The White Sox are hot. What's new? The White Sox, best team in baseball. The Tigers, the worst team in baseball. The Mariners, watch out for the Mariners. And the ABS system is completely broken now. So this week or last couple weeks, we've had a couple issues with the ABS system, which everyone was so happy about at first. But now we're seeing maybe it's not as perfect as we originally thought. So in Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas, it was in Sacramento. They're calling it now. In this A's game, there was a controversy. So this umpire calls this pitch a strike. A's thought it was a ball. They challenged the call. Robo-Ump proved it was actually a ball. The umpires kept it a strike, and the A's lost the challenge. And everyone's like, what the hell? Look at the replay. It's obviously a ball. It's like a good, maybe inch and a half an inch below the zone. So the question is the ABS system broken? And the answer is yes, the ABS system is broken. It is not 100% accurate. And we'll be admits to this. So I guess so they're saying the medium margin of error on any given pitch is about 1/6 of an inch. So any ABS replay, it is on average, it could be off by 1/6 of an inch, give or take.
Is that in any direction too, right?
Any direction. The margin of error. So it's possible that it's a 1/6 of an inch off. Okay, but that's the median. So some pitches actually have a larger margin of error. Depends on how the ball spins, the time of day, the shadows, etc. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. And one of my theories is Sacramento, not a major league park, is a minor league park, not a great stadium, not, maybe the lights aren't as bright, that the system in Sacramento isn't as good as other stadiums. That is a theory. Take it with a grain of salt. So plausibly, any one of these pitches could be more than 1/6 of an inch off from where the ball is shown on ABS. Granted, 1/6 of an inch, that's pretty damn good. Still better than a human, but not 100% accurate. And we'll be told The Athletic that they are 95% confident that a pitch would be within 0.39 inches of the location where the ABS system pinpoints it. So 0.39 inches. About 0.4 inches. They're 95% accurate. It's going to be within 0.39 inches of where it says it is. There were 13 ABS challenges within this range on Sunday alone. So over a week, that would be 90 challenges within 3.9 inches of the edge of the zone, meaning there's likely at least a few a week that are technically overturned when technically, in reality, probably shouldn't have been overturned. So that's something I didn't realize. I can say probably pretty confidently there's been at least a few calls that the Robo-Ump actually got wrong. Now, granted, you got to take this with a grain of salt because, okay, the robot was technically wrong. But if it's a freaking 0.001 inch off the quarter of the plate and they say it's wrong, is anything wrong? Can you get it wrong? Is it wrong?
I feel like with the ABS challenge system, you kind of have to commit one way or the other. If you start having the margin of error zone, then the margin of error zone needs like a margin of error zone, and then it just gets too complicated.
It is complicated because the more accurate it gets, people are still going to complain. But the truth is, the ABS system has been wrong. We can't prove that. Well, we can just prove.
Well,
it. We'll get to the why that was wrong, but it will be wrong. It has been wrong. It can be wrong. And if you watch tennis, this isn't surprising. So this is a good way to really look in the past, because tennis has had ABS for 20 years, right? So we have a large sample size using this technology, a little different, but same technology in a different sport. And they complain about this shit all the time. So last year, Hawkeye in tennis called this inbounds. If you have this video, they're playing on clay. So this ball, they say, this is the wrong video. Go use the other video if it's in there.
You linked to the same thing twice.
Bitch, did I ask?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you what to look up, because this is we got to show the fans at home. What was this guy's name, sir? What is the you know tennis, Jack?
Not even a little.
Wait, is it?
What's the tennis tournament where they play on clay? The big one.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Wimbledon?
No, Wimbledon is
Wimbledon?
grass. So this is the call in question. So last year, Hawkeye in tennis called this inbounds. Yet the ball left an obvious mark in the clay. The player took a picture of the ball mark in the clay in the middle of a match and proved that almost certainly this Hawkeye was wrong, and it was very much wrong. It's like an inch off the zone. The Hawkeye says, it's on the line. It was on the line. He goes to the ref and says, bro, I have proof. There's a mark on the clay. The guy's like, dude, it's not my call. The robot took my job. What am I going to do? But here's an example. See, look, this is what the Hawkeye says. Now we'll see the picture. I guess I didn't link the picture, but just take my word for it. The ball left a mark. It was about half an inch off the zone. This also was called in bounds. This was the one you had originally in Wimbledon, because the operator accidentally turned the system off. So as we can see in this other Hawkeye sports, accidents do happen. So the question is, was this pitch tracked in the A's game tracked wrong, or was the system just completely glitched? So there's two options. The ABS says this pitch was here, out of the zone, but in reality it was in the zone, and the ABS system fucked it up and marked it wrong. Or the ABS system just glitched and didn't work, didn't pick up the call at all, which also is a possibility. It happens about once in every 22,000 pitches. The ABS system will just not work. It happened 4 times in 2025 spring training. It happened 2 weeks ago in Chicago. So the Brewers challenged a call. The ABS system worked on the broadcast, and the ball was clearly marked a strike. However, the ABS system in the stadium did not work. The ABS operators were not able to see the call, so the call stood. The Brewers got to keep their challenge. Even though they were technically right and should have got it reversed, the thing didn't work, so they couldn't reverse it. However, they still got to keep their challenge. The difference with this weekend is that the A's did not get to keep their challenge. So they challenged this call. According to the replay, they got the call right. It should have been reversed, but the ABS replay never showed on the Jumbotron. This is in Sacramento, so it did not show on the Jumbotron. The broadcast never got the ABS either. So the ABS video did not show up on the Jumbotron. Even the broadcasters didn't get the ABS. The ABS operators...
But we have it.
Do we have the ABS
video?
Have
it. So we have the animation, and it's a big glitch.
So it says it was a strike, but it's not a strike. Play that one more time for me. So the ball was called a strike by ABS, even though ABS itself proves itself wrong by saying it's not a strike. Now how the fuck does that happen?
It's like call confirm. You're wrong, though.
So the robot got it right and wrong at the same time. And is this any human error involved?
Not that I know of.
That's the problem, is that we don't really know what happened completely. There's a few different theories. I don't think MLB has come out and made a statement about it. Dallas Braden came out. A's broadcaster, Mr. Braden, he was having a field day on this shit. According to Dallas, the broadcaster for the A's, this is the explanation he got. is that they challenged this call, and when it went to the ABS system upstairs, the pitch they were shown was a different pitch, a completely different pitch. So they challenged this call, which the ball was like an inch out of the zone, should have been reversed. But the ABS people, when they got the thing on their screen, got a pitch from like 3 pitches ago that was in the zone. So that's why they kept it. But that graphic right there makes me think that the ABS system itself, the robot itself, told the operator it's a strike, even though the operator was like, well, it's telling me it's a strike, even though it looks like a ball. So I guess I got to call it a strike, stuck between a rock and a hard place, when the ball was clearly a ball. So what do we do about this, Mitchell? Ban the robots?
I think the operator just didn't really remember the rule that if it doesn't work properly, the call stands, but the team gets to keep their challenge.
But I guess it didn't work properly.
So the A's should have kept their challenge, but the operator just went with what he saw on screen. Or maybe he didn't watch to the end of the animation, you know? Because on the animation, it does flash like it hit the zone, and it says strike, and he didn't even watch the rest of the animation.
It's like the robot is telling you it's a strike with its words, but it's showing you it's a ball. So it's like the robot's like, yeah, it's a strike, but don't even.
You know what it reminds me of? You ever watch The Office where Steve Carell's like driving the car into the river?
No.
Because of the GPS.
It's like straight. It's like, okay, and he drives into the water. That's what we're doing.
That's what we did in Sacramento. So the A's are pissed because what you're saying, what should have happened is what should have happened in the Cubs game, where the ABS system is a glitch. So it's just like, we're not going to count that one. We're not going to count that one at all. System error. Unfortunately, it seems like it was a user error. So it was a combination of robot-human mistake combined.
Yeah.
Interesting. But it's an interesting point because, man, we've been seeing some calls that have been, 0.000001 inches out of the zone, and they get reversed. If you look at the margin of error, you're like, well, am I really confident that this is right?
Your favorite player, Miguel Rojas, had 2 of those last night.
Let's see these, dude. I love watching these when they're just like a freaking hair out of the zone. Another thing to take into account is that all these statistics that MLB has on the Hawkeye challenges the call. Rojas says, I got a good eye. I know better than the umpire. Does he? Look at that. Look at that. See, it's like even the human eye can't pick on this. From far away, it looks like, how is that not a strike? And then he zooms in and you're like, oh, it was a ball. But here's the thing with the ABS is like all these statistics that they give about how like, oh, the margin of error is like a 0.001% difference from the accuracy of where the ball lands. However, what if the plate's a little off? Like, the plate is a 2-dimensional straight line, right? And all the cameras are combining together to create the thing. What if it's just like it's like a centimeter above the plate? That changes the whole strike zone. So it's not even the ball is being tracked accurately, but the strike zone is just an inch backwards. Now every single call is wrong on the ABS all day. It's a possibility. I mean, it wouldn't be the first person to complain about this. Walker Buehler came out after pitching the minors last year and was saying, I don't think it's accurate. It's different in different stadiums. You get different calls in different stadiums. He says that. An anonymous umpire talked to The Athletic earlier this season, said the same thing, was saying, I've talked to enough umpires. They seem to be convinced that the thing is not accurate in every stadium. So I'm not trying to put a hole in the ABS system and cause controversy and cause a scandal, but I will say that maybe it's not as perfect as we think. And I don't think it helps when MLB just kind of ignores calls like this and doesn't explain what happened.
Are they all using identical systems?
It's the same system. Same camera, same Hawkeye technology. They got a big deal with MLB. They have all these cameras and they set them up. But who's setting up the cameras?
Hawkeye's the name of the company?
Hawkeye. They set up fucking 12 Jack Schwartzes up there.
ABS is fascinating. You think it's really stirring the pot. I like it.
It is. There's been other incidents too. You want to hear about some other the pot stirring? Brandon Lau got in trouble with the ABS. So the ABS 3 times. There's been 3 ABS in the past 2 weeks. ABS scandals? Is that hyperbolic?
I would say controversies.
3 scandals in Watch your back, brother. Watch your back. So Brandon Lau versus the Twins. Umpire calls this a strike. The ball is a little low. He challenges the call. Umpire won't let him challenge because the umpire believes that the dugout influenced the call. But if you watch the replay, he challenged immediately. So maybe people in the dugout are yelling, challenge that, challenge that, challenge that. But it's like, if there's no hesitation, then obviously that didn't influence him. Umpire thinks he influenced them. So you're not allowed to have your teammates influence them. Does that mean if you think a call is wrong and you're in the dugout and you just start screaming, that's a bad call? You're influencing the guy?
I mean, that's how I don't see how he didn't even look. Dom didn't even look at Lau at first. Like, Lau is immediately tapping his head before the umpire's finishing his call.
Yeah, play it one more time. Because at first, at first we thought that he just didn't see Lau, didn't see him challenge when he did challenge. He did hear him, but the umpire's saying that the dugout influenced his call, told him to challenge, and then he challenged, so it doesn't count.
There's just no time for that, though. He's challenging as the umpire's putting his hand down.
It was a controversial call. I don't agree with the umpire here. We saw it a couple times. We saw Brett Beatty do it. Brett Beatty got called for a challenge when he didn't even challenge. So the umpire thought he challenged when he didn't challenge. Okay? And we learned here that you cannot challenge a challenge. And that is the question. Are we going to have to start allowing players to challenge a challenge? Because if the A's could have challenged that challenge, then they would have got their challenge back. Right? If the Mets were able to challenge that challenge, they would have got their challenge back. And if the Pirates are able to challenge that challenge, that's 3 challenges we could have overturned.
I do like that the umps want you to be like, I'm challenging it, but like not because they're telling me to. They're not telling, like, just because they're yelling it. That's not the reason I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's strange. That's not a rule.
I also have a gripe from an umpire. I was watching the Braves Red Sox this week, and there was this one umpire who took forever to call his strikes, balls and strikes. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Clip. It takes him 2 seconds to make a strike call, and I feel like at that point, you should have already challenged. So I have a video of it, Jack. But he takes 2 full seconds before he makes a strike call.
It's good. You got to replay in your head. That was right down the middle, too. Building suspense, Mitch. Giving the pitcher a little, because that's Chris, the only man you want to give him a little extra time in between pitches, pitch clock shit. That's just giving the veteran pitcher a little extra second. What's the word? A nice little
A little rest. He doesn't reset the pitch clock right away.
A courtesy call is what they're calling it. So Brandon Lau gets ejected after this. He hits a fly ball, then curses. Umpire thinks he's cursing at him. He was cursing because he got the fly ball. He gets ejected. Pirates got a lot of ejections this week. They're getting pissed as fuck. Sorry for cursing. Connor Griffin got hit in the helmet. Umpire didn't see it. They reviewed it. Didn't overturn it. Don Kelly starts screaming at him and gets ejected. Kelly, this is our new ejection king. Leads the league in ejections with 3 this year. That is the Pirates, who have a pretty good week this week. They split a series with the Cubbies. But there is a little bit of controversy going on. So Jared Jones returns. Jared Jones, who was a former top prospect. I guess you wouldn't call him a prospect anymore. But he came up in 2024, the same year as Skeens. And they were the 1-2 punch, the young Pittsburgh Cats coming in throwing 100 miles per hour, looking real nice. So everyone was really excited about Paul Skeens and Jared Jones, the 1-2 punch in Pittsburgh. However, Jared Jones got hurt last year. Tommy John going in the season really hurt the Pirates. So he's been on the IL for a year and a half. They actually have a guy named Carmen, girl name, no offense, Myodazinski?
I looked up how to say it, the pronunciation guide. I would have never got it. It's Maginsky.
Medinsky. So Medinsky has been
Maginsky.
Mr. Carmen Medinsky, bro. He's been filling in and has had a pretty good season. Pitched under a 4 ERA this year. Unfortunately, with Jared Jones coming back, he's going to have to go into the bullpen, according to the organization. He's not happy about this. So he tells the media, quote, "I can honestly say I'm just still communicating with the organization and the people in my corner, whether that's my family or my agency, about what is next. I really don't have any comments after that." People thought that was a little weird. It's like they're moving to the bullpen. What is there to comment on? You're going to the pen, brother.
You have no choice.
They paid you money. Now you have to do what they do. And he said, well, let me talk to my family and my agent, and then I'll see if I want to do what they do. And then I think he told the team that he didn't want to do what they wanted to do, so the team put him on the restricted list. So if you're on the restricted list, that's the list they got like Wander Franco on. You're in bad company, right? It's Wander Franco, Trevor Bauer, and Carmen Medinsky now. You don't want to be in that conversation. So he's on the restricted list. I guess basically, I don't know if this is confirmed. Oh, well, this is confirmed. They were putting him in the bullpen. He said on Sunday, "I'm not going to be able to pitch today." Who knows why? We could probably speculate that he didn't want to be a bullpen pitcher and wanted to be a starter. They said, well, if you can't pitch in the bullpen, then you're not paying. You're not on the team. We're not paying you. So he's on the restricted list. Sucks for him because he's had a great season. A little selfish of him not to be a team player and go to the bullpen. Mitch, do you have any comments on Carmen? I'm
just like, he lost out on over $4,000 because he didn't want to pitch out of the bullpen. Which, I feel like you can be frustrated, you can voice your frustration, but at the end of the day, you got to suck it up. I'm also like, I think he has options. So if the Pirates really wanted to, they could have just sent him down to the minor leagues.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of leverage to play with here.
Well, I mean, his leverage, I guess, is that he's had a great season. However, if you look at his stats, he's actually, as a starter, has a 4.4 ERA over his career. As a reliever, he has a 2.63 ERA. So he's been a way better out of the bullpen. So he came up out of the bullpen, had a great rookie year out of the bullpen. Second season, again, mostly out of the bullpen. Pretty good year. Then last season, he kind of split time between the bullpen and the starting staff. And then this year, he's basically been the starter and had a pretty good season. 3.76 ERA. He's done his job. But, I think a lot of these guys, if you're a major league pitcher, you want to be a starter because that's where the money's at, bro. And you get more playing time and, starting pitcher is more impactful. So you want to be a starter. And this guy feels like, yeah, they've had me relieving and starting. Now I'm starting, and I'm actually doing well starting. And then as soon as you do well starting, you feel like you're doing great. Jared Jones off the IL. Now they're putting you in the bullpen. You get pissed.
I also think in McGinsty's defense, he wasn't the worst starter out of the rotation. Like, the Pirates could have easily moved Bubba Chandler, who has not pitched well this year.
Ooh.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you're a guy. Technically, you're a pre-arb guy. You don't have a lot of leverage to play with. And I don't think I've ever seen a guy go on the restricted list because he didn't want to pitch out of the bullpen.
Yeah, it is rare. And then, and then Jared Jones comes in, doesn't have a great start. I mean, Jared Jones gives up, what was his line?
4.1 innings, 5 runs.
Hope this doesn't fester in the Pirates clubhouse. Do we have any news on him? Is he back on the team?
He spoke to the MLB beat writer for the Pirates yesterday, saying he's ready to embrace his new role. This actually caused a bit of controversy in the Pirates media landscape because the Pirates media felt like the Pirates were controlling the narrative and giving the guy who works for MLB first dibs on the story, even though Medinsky was supposed to speak to media today. So Pirates media is upset at the Pirates now.
Well, I stand with the Pirate. I stand with the Pittsburgh media. Keep at it, boys and girls. But more bad news for the Pirates, man. Connor Griffin. And now he's on the IL. So now Connor Griffin is on the IL with a forearm strain. Maybe he's going to get Tommy John. Since turning 20, he has been the 17th most valuable position player by WAR. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
I didn't.
But, he had a tough start to his career, his first few weeks at 19. Then he turned 20 immediately. Since turning 20, 858 OPS. His OPS went from 489 to 729. But now he's on the IL. However, Pirates do expect him to be back soon. And the Pirates doing well. They're keeping up. Pirates 5-2 on the week, scored 45 runs, third best offense in baseball this week. Brian Reynolds batted .478 this week. He's the third most valuable baseball player in baseball this week. Brandon Lau, 14 home runs this year. Didn't expect that. And then I look into it, I'm like, he's got to be on pace for a career record. Brandon Lau had 39 home runs 2 years ago. or 3 years ago, or whatever fucking year it was. 39 home run. Do you remember that?
2021. I do remember he was outstanding back.
31 bombs, though, bro. That's a lot of bombs for a guy like Brandon Lau. Guess what? He's on pace for 40 this year. So Brandon Lau, great offseason acquisition for the Pirates. 5th best offense in baseball and 8th best starting pitching staff. 4 games over 500 for the Pirates. Their playoff odds are up to 57.3%, and they have moved into 3rd place, tied with the Cubs now. So the Pirates, the cone magic keeps going on. We thought they were crazy when they were picked to win the division, had the best playoff odds. Well, they're proving themselves right. I guess they are in 3rd place, but they're tied with the Cubs right now. They're still tied with the Cubs, right? Or that might have changed after last night.
They are still tied with the Cubs.
Tied with the Cubbies. The Cubbies continue to, struggle. They split that series with the Pirates. Their loss on Tuesday, they extended their losing streak to 10 games. So from May 9th to May 26th, the Cubs went 2-14, worst record in MLB, by the way. Had a 5.44 team ERA, 3rd worst in MLB, by the way, and scored 40 runs. That is the worst in MLB, by the way. Sorry for coughing. In that span, you know why they sucked?
Why?
Because their batters couldn't hit the broadside of a frickin' barn, dude. Nico Horner, 507 OPS. Conforto, 496 OPS. Ian Happ, 483 OPS. Dansby Swanson, 414 OPS. Ballesteros, 350 OPS. Ichiro Suzuki, 334 OPS. Sorry, Seiya Suzuki, 334 OPS, and Matt Shaw, 125 OPS. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with an OPS 507 or lower. If you don't know OPS, let me just tell you right now, that's a bad OPS. All of them need to be put in a grave and murdered, set on fire, so they cannot play Major League Baseball anymore. They're so bad at hitting. How do you let these guys put on the uniform?
I love how you started the episode by saying, be kind to everyone, don't kill anyone. Now you're advocating for the death of the Cubs.
We got to line the Cubs up and firing squad these guys. They can't hit. What are we going to do with them? Kidding around, but Jason Stark, according to him, the other 29 MLB teams have combined for 2 streaks of 10 games, winning/losing. The Cubs have 3. So they had 2 10-game winning streaks. Now they got a 10-game losing streak. Streakiest team in baseball, the Cubbies. Now it's going on the bad end. However, they do win 2 of those 2 last games in Pittsburgh. So that offense that I just told you about, thank God we didn't kill them because they turned it on. Last 2 games in Pittsburgh, they scored 10 and 17. So 17 in 2 days. Pretty good. Sorry for coughing. Ian Happ, he got hot. Ian Happ, like I said, I was about to get the firing squad on him with the 483 OPS, but 5 RBI game, went 2 for 6 with a home run. You got to tip your cap. But the one guy we missed out on this losing streak, or in this downtrodden Cubs team, the bad offense, is a guy named Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong's also in there with a 552 OPS. This guy's been terrible. Pete Crow Armstrong has been bad. Ever since he told that lady to suck his dick, Pete Crow Armstrong has been terrible. But he did have one of the most badass comeback games of the fucking year this past weekend in St. Louis. Rivalry matchup in their place. So 2 weeks ago, PCA had an incident with a fan. Ever since then, the team was 2-12. He had just 1 homer over 12 games. He batted 167 during that span. So he's going against the Cardinals, division rival, ropes a single, comes back up in the 5th, rips a double, 6th inning, hit by a pitch. Now it's personal with the Cardinals. Comes up in the 8th. Tarps off section in St. Louis. What are they chanting?
Overrated.
Overrated. And on a 1-0 count, he bombs one. So all these guys with their shirts off are waving the shirts around. He hits a home run into the tarps off section. Pretends like he's waving a fake towel rounding the bases. It gets worse. The tarps off section tries to throw the ball back. Can't throw the ball back all the way into the field. It goes to a Cubs fan. So they get PCA's home run ball, give it to a Cubs fan as he's waving his shirt around rounding the bases. Then the guy makes a diving play to win the game and waves the Cardinals fans home. So he goes 4 for 5 with a home run and a double with 2 RBIs, breaks out of his slump. But the Cubs still lose the series. So they do have that fun game. And what is PCA's numbers looking like since that game? I'm hoping this turns his whole season around, man, because PCA as like kind of, I want to say bad his year has been, he's had one of the most electric seasons still.
So just this weekend, he batted 429, 467 on base, and a 786 slugging. He took his OPS from 677 to 713, which over a weekend is a pretty big jump this late into the year. But yeah, overall, his season has been pretty, not mediocre, but inconsistent, I think.
Yeah, streaky. He's streaky just like the Cubs. It's crazy. He's got 2.8 WAR, which is a great WAR. His defense is great. So you gotta call a spade a spade. The guy can play defense. And what does defense win? Championships. Third place team now, but if he keeps playing defense, and 108 OPS plus, so about a league average hitter. I would say that's actually better than what I thought it was gonna be because he's had such poor streaks. But PCA, we need to get a better nickname for him.
What do you think it should be?
I want something better. I want something like PCA, have yourself a day or something like that.
You want like a slogan?
I want PCA, but I want to add something on the end. Give me in the comments with the PCA's new nickname. PCA all day, baby. So PCA does own the Cardinals, but the Cardinals, they own the Cubbies, and the Cardinals stay hot. It's time to really start respecting the Cardinals. We say this every week, but we've been respecting the Cardinals. Ever since the tarp off shit, we've respected them. The Cardinals, give me something on the Cardinals.
I mean, JJ Weatherholt probably going to win Rookie of the Year.
You don't mean that.
I do. Who do you think's going to win NL Rookie of the Year?
Connor Griffin.
With a broken elbow?
Brother, he's going to be a short stint, and it's a forearm.
But yeah, Jordan Walker's, he had a rough week, but overall he's been able to maintain a really good breakout season. That's about it, I don't really have a whole lot on the Cardinals.
That's all we got on the Cardinals, but they had JJ Weatherholt had a great week. Second place right now. Dude, the Milwaukee Brewers have just like fucking ran away with the division all of a sudden.
I feel like a lot of the NL Central have had big win streaks or big cold streaks. The Cardinals have just consistently been up there.
Well, it's actually funny you say that because the Cardinals are on a pretty. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. That was a very big series. You don't want to say it's a must-win series at this time of the season, but it kind of felt like it. But they've lost 1, 2, 3.
They did get swept by the Brewers, but it's the Brewers.
8. They had lost 8 of their last 12 going into this week. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's a question of if the freaking starting staff can stay afloat. I mean, starting staff, they only have 1 pitcher with an ERA below 4, and that's McGreevy. I don't want to get McGreedy, but how much can we ask of McGreevy before we're getting greedy? I mean, it's a good question, Jack. How much? When are we getting greedy with McGreevy? When are we gonna get greedy with McGreevy? They get swept by the Brewers, man.
They almost got a no-hitter against the Brewers, though. And then
what happened?
A double to left field, an error by Mason Wynn, and the Brewers win.
Brewers are unbeatable right now. So you almost get a no-hitter with who? Dustin May?
Dustin May
almost throws a no-hitter on your ass. So you get Dustin May start. What was his final line?
It was 7 innings plus because he went into the 8th inning. 2 runs, 1 earned, 9 strikeouts, no walks.
Hey, he does have electric shit. He's a tall drink of water. He's got red hair and a red jersey. But when you're playing the Brew Crew, 7 no-hit innings ain't going to get it done. You need at least 8 or 9.
Preferably 9 against the Brewers.
Yeah. So, like I said, they beat the Cubs, but they get swept by the Brewers. They have to face Mizorowski and Harrison in back-to-back nights. That's a tough Monday and Tuesday, as we covered last week. Facing Kyle Harrison on a Tuesday. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. Those two combined for 1 run given up in 13 innings. And also during this series, we saw one of the most disrespectful moves in baseball ever. That is Abner Uribe pulled off. I mean, how would you describe that?
I think we should just show it.
A triple hump in the face. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Triple hump in the face. I mean, that is a little overboard, I would say. So, Mr. Uribe, what did the Cardinals do to Mr. Abner Uribe to deserve this? We'll tell you. Uribe, this guy has a history of celebrations. So he started out with the holster celebration in 2023. That's his rookie year. This was after Rhys Hoskins slid into Jeff McNeil, started a fight, then got thrown at, then hit a bomb. Uribe closes out the game and shushes the Mets dugout. That was his welcome to the league moment for Mr. Abner Uribe. After this, he was asked to stop the holster celebration by his team, but he brought it back the next year in 2024. And in 2025, he started doing a new version of it. Broke out a few cellies that year, actually. He's got a bunch of weird things where he's like skipping around. He's just a very animated player. He plays with his emotions on his sleeve, Mitchell. And some people might say he's the most disrespectful pitcher in baseball. Would you say it?
I wouldn't say it.
Then good. He's got someone in his corner.
Some would say.
His most famous celebration is the dice roll celly. So this is like the smoking gun celly, 2 chest pump, 2 fist pump, turned into the dice roll. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that one. He smacked Jose Siri in the face and got into a brawl in 2024. That was a funny fight. 2 players who really do show a lot of emotion. They could be brothers, probably. And on Tuesday, he pulled off his most electric celly yet. So what caused this is that these 2 teams supposedly had been beefing over sign stealing. So the Cardinals allegedly were accusing the Brewers of allegedly stealing signs during the game. They confronted the Brewers during batting practice, and an incident occurred before the game. So then during the game, Uribe had heard that the Cardinals manager had motioned to his pitcher to either hit Christian Yelich or William Contreras on purpose. So rumors were flying around that the manager was telling the players to hit the players. Uribe doesn't like this. So even though no one got hit by a pitch, Uribe comes in the game, strikes out Alex Burleson to get out of an inning, and does his normal celebration, but at the end of it, does not roll the dice, does the triple hump in the Cardinals' face. Thank you. And that's got to hurt. So the guy didn't even make it off the field before his manager was like, hey, bro, don't fucking do that. So not only are the Cardinals mad at him, his own team is like, dude, why are you triple humping the opponents? It's a little much. Uribe did later apologize to his team and the Cardinals, but says the Cardinals shouldn't have been trying to throw at people on purpose. So you don't usually see this, but he has been suspended. He got suspended for 1 game for a celebration. You do not see that in MLB, but it was such a disrespectful 3 humps. I mean, right? Is that the rule? 3 humps is illegal?
Seems to be, right? Isn't that what we discovered?
He did 1, 2, and then 3 pumps. So MLB had to come in and suspend him.
Here's an alternate angle.
Let's see it here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So unfortunately, you got to suspend him for it. Did pitch on Friday in relief while appealing the suspension. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 9th. Made a great defensive play. Did not do the crotch grab celebration, so he's learned his lesson. Hopefully that suspension gets appealed and he doesn't have to serve it. But unfortunately, 3 thrusts, that is illegal. So just more drama over there. Unbelievable. We got players triple humping their opponents in their face. What does this world come to?
And people say baseball is boring.
We got 2 teams fighting. One team accuses another team of stealing signs. Other team accuses one manager of trying to hit the guy on purpose. Other team accuses the other person of triple humping in the player's face. The Brewers win the beef because they sweep the Cardinals. And the Brewers, I don't think they lost the game all week, right?
They lost one game
Doesn't count.
to Houston, but I feel like that was like a reset day. You know, you've had a nice long winning streak. You need to kind of reset, let your bullpen, your pitchers rest, and then you go back out and you win again.
Houston, we have a problem. So Jacob Mizorowski goes game 1 this week, goes absolutely apeshit. I want to say, do you have his line? Give
It
me
was
his
like
line.
13 innings, 1 run allowed.
I know. I just want to know.
14.
I know. No. You can't pitch 13 innings in one game, Mitchell.
Did you not ask for his line this week?
No, I just wanted his Monday game.
You just wanted his Monday game. Okay.
Oh, he pitched again. What else he pitched?
He pitched on
Thursday.
Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
So he pitched on Monday, 1 run allowed, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts, no walks.
Ooh.
This Sunday, he pitched again, 7 innings, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, no runs, no walks. Lowered his ERA to 165.
So that's what? Dude, that is 13 innings and 20 Ks.
14 innings, 20 Ks, 1 run, 5 base runs.
Mizorowski. So on the month, Mizorowski, probably one of the best months of all time. 0.23 ERA. He gave up 1 earned run all month. 38 innings pitched. 38 and a third innings pitched. 1 earned run allowed. 57 strikeouts in 38 innings. Opponents batted 109 against him. His whip, 5.2. Sorry, 0.52. And when he was asked about it, he said, quote, "It was pretty good." I mean, that's decent. So a humble man, a humble pitcher. Unlike Abner Uribe. Imagine if he had that line.
Balancing it out, you know?
Okay, 6'7". How tall is Mizorowski?
He is 6'7".
Called it. So Mizorowski, what a month. The only guy, hey, Cy Young candidate. Him and Christopher Sanchez. Both had, I mean, Sanchez, it's funny that I just told you Mizorowski's line, pitches 38 innings in a month, gives up 1 run, and he's not even the best pitcher in the league. I mean, Christopher Sanchez had more innings pitched, 39. Gave up less runs, 0 runs, less walks, with a 0 ERA. So pretty good pitching going on in baseball. Don't forget about his teammate too. Anything else you want to highlight on the Brewers?
Well, I mean, Kyle Harrison, we touched on it, but the fact that the Brewers have Mizorowski and Harrison going back to back, and these are 2 guys with ERAs under 2, that's so hard to win a series if you have both of those guys pitching against you.
It is. It's 2 easy wins.
Harrison's ERA is still lower than Mizorowski's.
Fuck. That's surprising. Mizorowski gets all the attention because he's got a cool name and a cool Pokemon glove, and he looks like a Eagle Scout. I don't even really know what Kyle Harrison really looks like. I don't even really have a picture in my head of what Kyle Harrison looks like. Pull him up, man.
I want to find a lineup, but I don't think I can.
So last time the Brewers set the Cardinals at home was in 2011, which is crazy. Look at him.
If he walked past you here in DC, would you be like, Kyle Harrison?
No, but I'd say
Yeah,
that's
no.
probably a professional baseball player. I can kind of tell. Us ball knowers just know ball throwers. Ball knowers know ball throwers. Kyle Harrison, you are a ball thrower, my man. Shout out to the Brewers, who stay in first place. 5.5 game lead for the Brewers. The Brewers might just run away with this, dude. Would you be surprised if the Brew Crew? I mean, right now, let's look at the divisions. Let's look at the NL Central. The NL Central has been, every week, all we do is talk about the NL Central. It's been the most electric division. Every single one of these teams is above 500. Only team close to not being above 500 is the Reds. Pittsburgh, Cubs, St. Louis, and Milwaukee. Mitchell, who do you give it to? Who do you think is going to win this?
Milwaukee. It's crazy that this division still, we're in June. All of the teams are still over 500. And there's a team with a 5.5 game lead over all of the teams who are all over 500. That's pretty crazy.
That's right. And only the third best record in the NL in total. But I want to say since May, Milwaukee has been by far the best team in baseball. You got to tip your cap. You got to tip your cap.
Yeah, the Brewers had the most wins in May. They went 19-7. The next best team
The Rays.
was the the Rays at 18-8. There were a lot of 18-win teams actually, but the Rays were the only 18-win team without 10 or more losses.
We're at Jack's Rays. Still not as good as the Brewers though. And where are they ranking payroll?
They're pretty far towards the bottom. Luxury tax payroll has them 21st.
The Brewers?
The Brewers.
What about the Rays?
And the Rays are 28th.
There you go. 21st and 28th ranked.
And everyone's saying we need a salary cap.
Wow. Snack on that for lunch, you big owners. Put that in your coffee. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Rob Manfred, you cocksucker. Apologize. One more team to talk about in the division of the Reds. Blast. We thought the Speedo could get them back going, but they had to play a couple NL East teams and didn't fare too well. I mean, it could have been worse. They split the series the week. They beat the Mets 2 out of 3. Chase Burns did great. Andrew Abbott done great. Those are the two guys who do great on that team. I believe Andrew Abbott and Chase Burns rank like 5th and 6th best pitchers in baseball this year or something. Where did I see that? Either way, the truth is that those guys have been way, way too good to be on this team. I was super high on their rotation going in the year, and I still am happy about it. But other than those two, it's been really bad.
I think what you're saying is that Burns and Abbott were the 5th and 6th best pitchers in May.
Yeah. Yeah, in a month where there was a lot of great pitchers in May.
There were so many. Chris Sale had, we'll get to the Braves in a bit, but Chris Sale had his 3rd best season as a Brave. He won the Cy Young 2 years ago. And he has like no chance to win Pitcher of the Month. Like 0.0 to the billionth % chance because pitching was that good this month.
Yep. And so like the Reds, who came into May in first place, leave May in last place. That's while having the 5th and 6th best pitchers in baseball in the rotation. So
and also one of the best hitters in baseball.
Who was that?
JJ Bleday.
JJ Bleday, baby.
Since he came up at the end of April, he's been the 9th most valuable position player by F4.
Oh,
this week
damn.
against the Braves, man, it felt like he was on base every single at bat. It was like a home run or a double.
Probably was. The guy's got a 1,053 OPS this year, 655 slugging, 31 games, already has 10 bombs for JJ Bleday, baby, who you didn't come into the season thinking was actually a good player. Probably.
I don't think you came into the season thinking about, period. No one was thinking about JJ Bleday.
Yeah, had a negative 0.5 WAR. I'm gonna guess he got released by the Athletics. Now he's on the Reds, making a name for himself. So gotta respect it. They did win one against the Braves. That's good, but they also lose one against the Braves because Ellie De La Cruz gets hurt in that game, and now he's on the IL with a little bit of a hamstring injury.
Yeah, that one, he hit the ball to the wall. You're wondering, man, is this gonna be a triple? And he pulls up at first. You're like, oh shit, he's done for.
Gosh. Sucks. I hate to see with the Reds. I just hate the NL Central because I love every single one of these teams. I feel like you root for all of them.
I mean, I personally, I hate Ollie Marmol, so I don't really root for the Cardinals. But I think with each of the other NL Central teams, like, there's someone to latch on to that if you're watching a game on like a random Wednesday, you just flip over to a team. It's very easy to find a reason to pull for any of these teams.
It's a very likable division. So the Reds remain in last place, 30 and 29. They are 6 games back from the Brewers, but just 1 game back from a playoff spot. So even if you're last, you're not that far out. Respect to them. But going back to the Brewers, the first place team in here, the Brewers have the best record in baseball since May 1st while being 24th in runs. So let that sink in. So the Brewers are 24th in runs in May and still the best record in baseball. And that leads you to believe that if they're not scoring a lot of runs, they must be preventing a lot of runs. You'd be right. They have the most strikeouts in baseball in May, gave up the fewest amount of hits in May, gave up the fewest amount of homers in May, lowest ERA in May, lowest expected ERA in May, lowest FIP in May, highest WAR in May, and had the best record in baseball in May. Like we said, second best record in baseball, the Rays, who had an interesting week. So like I said earlier, the Rays had a pitcher throw up on the mound. This is a guy named Jonathan Healsley. comes into the game. This is his first game ever pitching for the Rays. Comes in, throws a pitch, looks a little shaky, throws up on the field. Apparently, this guy just does this. He gets nervous. He had actually apparently thrown up earlier in the year in Durham in a minor league start. So this guy throws up on the field, ends up giving 5 earned runs in 4 innings, then gets cut from the team. Tough career for the Rays career for him. Is he going to be back?
I think he got outrighted. I don't know his service time. I think that means he just stays in the organization.
Tough week, man.
I don't know what is worse, throwing up on the field or getting immediately designated for assignment.
Probably immediately designated for assignment, but it's kind of a double whammy.
Both feel bad in different ways.
Yeah, you don't want to throw up on the field. But listen, bro, honestly, Rays probably just got him on the team to DFA him anyway because the Rays do this nonstop. It seems like they called him up. He pitched like 4 innings out of the bullpen.
Do you think they even found him like an apartment to stay in St. Petersburg?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll get you here. We got him a hotel. You can stay in the clubhouse, Buster. I mean, it's got a roof. Trop.
Yeah, one of the only permanent roofs too.
Yeah. But still, the Rays. So the Rays came into this week with the best record in the AL. Then they get swept by the Orioles. So not a great start to the week for the Rays. Shane McClanahan did have a great start, though. Scoreless start on Monday. This month, Shane McClanahan, we talk about all these great pitchers this month. Shane McClanahan, you got to add him into the conversation. 1.41 ERA, 0.84 whip. Sorry for coughing. I'm sick.
I feel like I'm conditioned to hear you say sorry for cursing. And so the 5 times you said sorry for coughing today, my head has been like auto-filling it to sorry for cursing, and then you say coughing, and it throws me off.
I haven't been cursing, bro. I've been coughing.
Just coughing.
And put me in a coffin. The way I'd be coughing. And so tip your cap to McClanahan, but Griffin Jacks put him in a coffin, kill him, let him on fire. Lasted 2 innings, allowed 3 earned runs. People are going to be like, bro, all these death threats players are getting, I bet it's Joey. The way I'd be talking about these guys, too.
People are listening to the podcast and then going to Tanner Scott's Instagram page.
Yeah, they're saying, put Tanner Scott in a coffin.
Which do not do.
No. If you give a death threat online, you are subject to investigation and you could be held liable in the court of the American justice system. Oh no! Would you want that, motherfuckers? The truth is, if you do the crime, you do the time. And there was a crime committed. The Angels played baseball. That should be punishable by death. The Angels suck so bad. However, they do win 1 game against the Rays, put up 14 on their ass. The Rays also added Craig Kimbrell to the team.
I thought he was done.
The Rays like to unlock potential out of people. They get Craig Kimbrell, and he actually does great in his first start or his first relief appearance. Unfortunately, now he's on the IL immediately. They hurt Kimbrell. So that sucks. And they lose 2 out of 3 to the Angels. Sorry, they win 2 out of 3 against the Angels. Biggest highlight of this series was the national anthem standoff. I said earlier, but standing for the national anthem is now illegal in baseball. I don't know if you know this, but that's real cool. You can't be patriotic anymore. It is illegal in baseball if you do it like how the Angels and Rays do it. Little pranksters going on. Over the past few years, we've seen it. Players have been doing this little game in the national anthem where they see how long they can stay out at the national anthem. It's like a national anthem off. So they do the national anthem. You stand for the national anthem. Whoever can stay on the field the longest after the national anthem ends wins the match off. So it's a national anthem standoff. 2 players compete in this.
And 2 mascots. Can't forget about them.
Sorry for coughing. Usually results in standoffs that last several minutes, confused umpires, angry umpires, and usually ends when one of the umpires finally gets pissed enough to scare someone to break it up. This week, this umpire finally had enough. So on Saturday during the national anthem, Angels reliever Brett Suter had a standoff with Steven Wilson and Manuel Rodriguez. Studer, so not only is he facing off against 2 guys, 2 mascots join in against him. So it's Studer against 4 guys. The Rays have 2 mascots. Why the fuck do you have 2 mascots?
They have like 50.
The
Those weren't even the main mascots. Those cats or whatever they are. They're like the tertiary mascots.
How many mascots do the Rays have? This is the brokest team in baseball. They don't have 1 millionaire on their team.
Well, they have Raymond, who's like the main mascot.
Okay, respect.
And then they've got I'm learning about
Well,
these
they have
on the fly.
they have-
DJ Kitty. Never heard of DJ Kitty.
I know DJ Kitty.
And then they've got All About Stinger, which you feel like that should be the primary mascot, right? If it's a Ray, and you're the Rays, but your main mascot's this woolly thing.
Well, after what they did to the crocodile hunter, you kind of want to distance yourself from Rays.
And then I think they have a few, like a couple more, but yeah, three mascots, 3 main mascots is a little excessive.
Well, 2 of them got in on the action. Suter has to go against 2 mascots and 2 guys. And here's the thing. These 2 Rays players, they were injured, so they got nothing to lose. Suter's on the team. He's active. He's in the bullpen, all right? So he's got to get ready to pitch. The standoff lasts over 8 minutes. The pitcher had finished warming up. The players refuse to get off the field, and the umpire ejects all of them. So this guy gets ejected. No one wins. It's a tie, and this guy can't pitch in the bullpen because he stayed in the fucking national anthem for too long. That sucks for him. Didn't even get the dub. I think he deserves it. And then guess what? Jose Siri robbed a home run and saved the food. Did you see that? Play that clip. Jose Siri against his former team.
Why would you have the buffet right there?
Yeah, what are they mining clips over here?
Hey, bro, it's clickbait. Why would you have the food there, Mitchell? Great question. Glad you asked. Because you need to put the food in a spot where no one's going to stand there because the wall's in the way. So you don't want to block people from seeing the game, and they're ran out of room. So the only option was to put it there
I think they need to put a little roof there.
to protect the food. You don't want to waste food. There's starving kids in Africa.
The food does look pretty good.
We got a new BDE philanthropy segment. Speaking of starving kids, sorry, they're not starving. But we got a comment, Project Béisbol. It's an organization that helps kids in Latin American countries play baseball, and you get to donate, and guess what? You get the scholarship programs. They give them gear. They pay the team so they can play, and it pays for youth clinics. You get seminars. So it basically allows kids to play baseball. And guess what? I'm trying to get them to let me sponsor a team so that we can have Baseball Doesn't Exist team, and they let you have a logo, and it's dope as fuck.
That would be so sick.
So that's the goal, is to sponsor a whole team. But I don't know. They didn't get. I think we have to raise money first.
How much do you know how much we need to raise to get a team sponsor?
Well, this $1,000 is what we need. It's not what we need. I think you need like $1,500, but that's I created the fundraising thing, so that I put the goal 1,000. So we gotta keep plugging Project Baseball until we hit our goal.
And that's baseball, the Spanish.
It's spelled the Spanish way, but
What's the Spanish way?
Baseball.
baseball.
Beisbol.
So if you donate, you give us a chance to have our own Baseball Doesn't Exist Little League Latin team funded by the YouTube and podcast. And they basically will be playing for us to be our team.
That'd be dope. Would we go see him?
Hell yeah, dude. We'll fly them out. We'll play these kids. Let's say, come out of America.
We're not gonna fly to Colombia.
No, we're going to say, you come here.
How involved in management can we be?
Depends how much money we
Can
get,
I
dude.
be the
Jack's
first
gonna
base
move
coach?
to Bogota.
I want to be a hitting coach.
My thinking is if we raise like $20,000, that we could do what we want. Isn't that the
All
point
right.
of charity?
Yeah. But the point of charity, I'm pretty sure, is to get on a baseball field and dominate children.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
So that's our goal, and it goes to a good cause, not only our cause, but their cause, because you allow kids to play freaking baseball. You know, you guys probably grew up and didn't have to worry about it, but some people in certain countries, like Colombia, Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Mexico, Venezuela, there's refugee initiatives in Colombia and Venezuela and other regions. This is where the money will go to, helping little kids play ball. So please click the link in the description and let's hit our fundraising goal.
Should we send the whole team to Cooperstown Dream Park?
They won't.
Are we
allow,
even
they don't
allowed
allow.
to say
They
that?
don't allow. They don't allow non-American teams to play in Cooperstown unless they're Canadian.
Not cool, Cooperstown.
So we move those kids to Canada, get them Canadian citizenship, then
At this
playing.
point, we're trafficking a team. we can't be doing this, guys. We're just
thinking.
trying to give back to the community.
I think Cooperstown Dreams Park is only American teams. I'm not sure on that, but I could be wrong. If not, then we should totally send them up there. I'm not completely sure on that. I don't want to get sued again. but
Yeah,
I
your
am
lawyer just
currently-
called and he said that we're not necessarily right and you should do your own research.
I just had to double down on that. Like, I really don't know for sure because I don't want to get sued by a third time, second time.
Anyway, donate what you can.
Donate so we don't get sued. We are sued. We are getting sued.
Still?
Too late.
This is ongoing?
Yes.
still.
We are still getting
Great.
sued. But once we stop getting sued, then the fun really begins.
You know who might be suing someone soon?
No.
Jesus Sanchez.
Jesus Sanchez, he got a little bit of a case. Sorry, I'm going to have to cough again.
Did you call him Jesus?
Jesus.
Oh, I think you said Jesus.
Jesus Sanchez.
Jesus because he loves
co-articulation because his last name begins with an S, kind of just runs together.
Puts the Sue and Jesus. you know what I'm saying?
Jesus Sanchez.
All right. Yes, great point, Mitchell. Jesus Sanchez might have a case. So Jesus Sanchez, it just keeps getting worse for the Blue Jays. So to wrap up the Rays, they stay in first place, 1.5 games ahead of the Yankees, and 9 games against the Blue Jays, who another brutal loss for them. So Jesus Sanchez, a fan hits him with a ball in the outfield when he's not looking, and he has to leave the game. So Sanchez is interacting with fans, motions with his glove. A 13-year-old thought that Sanchez was motioning him to play catch with him, throws the ball at Sanchez. Sanchez gets hit, has to leave the game. The fan gets ejected. So the x-rays were negative. We don't know how. Did he play last night? Did they have a game?
I don't think they had a game.
So we'll see if he plays today. But he got injured by a ball thrown by a 13-year-old. I mean, the fact that there was enough juice on that ball to injure his hand is hilarious. The guy probably gets hit by balls all the time. I got clips right here. Guy got hit by a 93-mile-per-hour fastball in 2024, stayed in the game. Got hit by a Scherzer ball, 89 in the wrist, stays in the game, but can't withstand the ball from a 13-year-old that fucks his wrist up. He has to leave the game. Unfortunate situation for everyone.
The thing is, I can sort of get where the kid was coming from because he does kind of flash his hand up, but way up in this right-hand corner, this kid just like darts up and throws the ball. So it's a little hard to defend.
He yucks it. Let's play that one more time. I honestly have seen this clip, but I never saw you could actually see the guy get up.
That's not someone playing a friendly toss, you know? That's a missile.
He got excited.
And this footage is slowed down.
He got excited. So, I mean, does wave to the fans, interacting with the fans. I don't know what he was doing with the fans. Kid misunderstands it, throws a bullet at him. Unfortunately, the kid gets ejected. I'm sure he feels terrible. And I'm sure Jesus Sanchez feels terrible. He's having a great year. So Sanchez had 368 average over his past 25 games, 956 OPS, having the best season of his career so far. Now he might be hurt.
Jesus Christ.
The more I talk, the harder this gets, guys, with the coughing. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm a little under the weather, but we shall prevail. And the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays play Jack's Marlins. Not a great week for the Blue Jays, but not a terrible week. They kind of Blue Jays, they've had some problems here. Let's just call a spade a spade. They lose. They win 2-3 against the Marlins. Then they split a series against the Orioles. We saw the Jesus Sanchez incident. Anything else on the Blue Jays you want to highlight, Mitchell?
Jeff Hoffman is having one of the weirdest seasons imaginable. He has like
traded.
No, he's still
Okay, I just get tricked with the Jeff Hoffman, the meme, the Jeff Hoffman. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Who am I talking about? The meme where they fucking post his interview, and they act like, and they put quotes. So it's like Jeff Hoffman said this, and it's like the most diabolical shit ever, but in reality, he didn't say anything like that.
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Sorry.
Dude.
So Jeff Hoffman's baseball savant page is like all red, which means he's very good. Except Jeff Hoffman is not very good. He has a 6.31 ERA. On one of these days, I think it was Saturday, he allowed 5 runs without getting an out. Batters have a 5.16 BABIP against him, which is the most in baseball among pitchers with 20 innings by 66 points. So Jeff Hoffman, I don't know what's going on. He has a strikeout rate in the 99th percentile. He's got a whiff rate in the 99th percentile. He doesn't allow hard hit balls, but for some reason he's like the worst reliever in baseball.
Well, maybe he's just getting unlucky, and maybe that the Blue Jays in general are getting unlucky, and that soon they will be better at baseball. The problem this year is that they can't really score runs, and the injuries. We got to call a spade a spade. They've been tough on the injuries. I mean, they still don't have Santander. Barger's out. Lennon Sosa. I forgot that. I didn't even know he was on the squad.
Isn't he terrible?
Lennon Sosa. I know that he was good for the White Sox last year, but they traded for him in April.
Yeah, Sosa has a 35 OPS plus.
Okay, that's not great. And then Alejandro Kirk as well. That, I mean, they're starting. I mean, their IL. There could be a whole starting pitching staff on its own right. Also, we gotta highlight Vladdy. I mean, Vladdy is on pace for like 10 home runs this year,
which is weird because he's batting like 300. He has a 298 batting average, a 392 on base percentage. You look at those first two stats, you're like, Vladdy is having a great season, and then you get to his slugging, 385. He has 9 doubles and 3 home runs on the year. I don't get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's been overshadowed a lot by the Tatis situation, but Vladdy as well. Not hitting the ball very far out of the stadium. He does have a OPS above league average, 116 OPS plus, but only 3 home runs for Mr. Vladdy.
I think the big thing for Vladdy is that he doesn't hit the ball in the air enough. But yeah, I mean, he's getting on base. He's hitting for a high average. He's basically Luis Arias in terms of batting average and slugging, right?
Yeah, he's Luis Arias. It's a good comp. Yeah, 298 batting average, but not hitting the ball very far. Ernie Clement's doing great for him. George Springer has really been the biggest X factor, because that guy was absolutely amazing last year at age 35.
Springer feels
But
like
he sold his house, and he's age 36 now.
and he's about to be a free agent. But
Yeah.
I feel like Springer last season is one of those, you know, when great hitters have one last great season and then they just turn into a regression monster.
Yeah.
I think last year was his swan song season.
Yeah, I mean, Springer has definitely been injured a shit ton. I feel like that guy's always like playing through some crazy injury and just being a freaking dog about it. So maybe they caught up. Maybe they caught up for the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays, I mean, I guess I didn't give them enough credit. They lost their last 2 games, but if you take out those games, they had won 8 out of their last 10. So they've been trending in the right direction, including 3 one-run games in a row against Baltimore and Miami. So they've been winning the close ones, and that's all you can ask for. I guess you also want to win all the games. Let's just win all the games. But see, they also lost Cease. I think that we covered that last week, but that's a big loss.
I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember seeing a timeline for Cease, but 2 days ago there was a report that he was slated for 25 to 30 pitch bullpen. So that does indicate an IL stint that's not very long.
Okay. So that's good news. Don't want to count the Blue Jays out yet. Once they get Scherzer back and he breaks the strikeout total, what's he going for? 3,000?
I think he's going for 3,500.
Okay.
And he's one strikeout away. He's been within one game, like a one decent game for the last 3 starts that he pitched, and then he fell off.
I tell you what, though, he's probably getting real fucking good at piano. And that counts for something.
The Blue Jays are in a playoff position at 2 games under 500. The American League this year sucks.
Jesus Christ. I did not realize that. They're a playoff team?
They are a playoff team. I guess MLB has them as a tiebreaker over the Rangers, but yeah, if you are 2 games under 500, you are going to make the playoffs in the American League this year.
Love it. So that's good news for the Yankees, because the Yankees, I mean, we're going to talk about the Rays, but it might be time to start talking about the Yankees again. The Yankees have a great week. The Yankees sweep the Royals, which don't mean much, but hey, you don't get to pick who you play. They sweep the Royals, then beat the A's 2 out of 3. And guess who's back? Back again. Garrett Cole is back. Former best pitcher in baseball. Might still be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Comes back, pitches 6 2/3 innings. 10 strikeouts for Garrett Cole. That was his second game back, wasn't it?
That was his second game back. His first start, he didn't strike out a whole lot of hitters. Let's see.
Yeah, he had 6 innings in his first start back against the Rays, who don't strike out, so maybe that's why. Gave up only 2 hits, only 2 Ks, but only threw 72 pitches. Either way, he gives up 0 earned runs, and then in his second start, strikes out the world 10 Ks in 6 2/3 innings. Does not give up any runs. So
He only did that in 79 pitches.
really?
10 strikeouts in 6.2 innings, 79 pitches.
So Garrett Cole puts on some weight, puts on some dad strength, comes back and is better like he never left. He's averaging 96 miles per hour on his fastball. So, I mean, that's probably one of the best returns you could have ever hoped for Garrett Cole. Looking great as the Yankees sweep the Royals. Yankees have won 6 of their last 7 games. Ben Rice still leads the league in slugging OPS and RBI. Are we sleeping on Ben Rice still?
Ben Rice had a bit of a slump after coming back from, I forget what injury he had, but he had a little injury. He missed 4 games. He slumped a little bit. And then this week, he won MLB AL Player of the Week. So he had a great week. He had multiple multi-hit games, 11 RBIs, and 885 slugging. 2 triples for Ben Rice this week.
Love it. And then also this, Cody Bellinger leads the American League in Baseball Reference WAR.
He's quietly had an elite season. The past
So
few years, he's had some metrics that say Cody Bellinger is overperforming. Of course, he had a terrible 2022, terrible 2021. But this year, every metric says he's been very good. His hitting 139 OPS plus. He's playing great defense in the outfield. And yet, he's like, what, the 5th most talked about Yankee this year?
exactly. I mean, Jazz Chisholm gets more attention than him.
I mean, yesterday Chisholm went on one of the late night shows, said the Yankees were going to go all the way, and that caused a bit of an outroar.
Hey, you got to be confident in your squad. Love it. So Jazz Chisholm, this is on Wednesday, so these stats might not be completely accurate. But he started wearing Giancarlo Stanton's pants, which are way too big for him, but he wears them anyway. He's batted .415 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs since then. Sorry for coughing. Anything else you want to highlight with the Yankees?
They had the weirdest game on Sunday. Did you see this?
I did not.
So on Sunday, the A's faced the minimum against the Yankees in 8 of the 9 innings. So for 8 of the 9 innings, they went 24 up, 24 down.
Aces. Ace shit.
In the 3rd inning, the Yankees scored 13 runs. They scored 10 runs before even recording an out. That's the most runs scored by a team since May 7, 2009, when the Red Sox scored 12 runs without making an out. Volpe had 2 hits and 2 stolen bases in the same inning. Every single Yankees player in the lineup scored a run in that inning alone. And then the Yankees still allowed 8 runs, so they won 13-8. In 8 of the 9 innings, the A's outscored the Yankees 8-0. In the 3rd inning, the Yankees scored 13.
Love it.
And they didn't hit a home run in that inning.
Okay.
It was all singles, doubles, and triples.
It's not about home runs for the Yankees. They're not a home run hitting franchise. So the Yankees on this road trip go 5-1. Aaron Judge didn't even hit well. 227 batting average for Judge with an OPS under 700, 0 home runs, and they still go 5-1. Granted, it is against the Royals and the Athletics, but you don't get to pick who you play, and the Yankees are looking pretty good. Now, I want to say, last week it was all about the Rays. We love the Rays. We love the Rays and their 14 mascots and their buffet options in left field. But if you had to put your money where your mouth is, Mitchell, you had to put your entire salary. Who do you think is going to win the AL East?
When I pulled up the MLB standings, starting the research on Sunday, I was shocked to see that the Yankees are only 1 game back. It felt like the Rays were the hottest team in baseball for all of May. The Yankees, had a bit of a mid-stretch in there. I thought the Rays still had like at least a 4-game lead. At this point, I feel really good about the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Because not only that, 1 game back, they don't have Max Fried. You think you're going to get Max Fried back. And now you get Garrett Cole back, who looks like he might be better than Max Fried. Obviously, Schlittler's been the best pitcher in the AL this year. So, I mean, if you got Schlittler, Fried, and Garrett Cole, the way Garrett Cole looks like he's going to be, I mean, there might not be a 1, 2, 3 better than that in the league. And that's also with fucking Will Warren, who's been amazing, Weathers, who's been great, and Rodon, who quietly actually has been doing great. I thought Rodon was having a terrible season, but his ERA is down to a 3.32. So, a lot of good stuff happening in the Bronx, going a little bit under the radar in New York City because, everyone's talking about the Knicks. Everyone likes to talk about the Knicks because they're in the NBA Finals. But could we get 2 New York champions this year, the same year?
The odds would be in their favor, wouldn't it, if you have 2 teams in every league?
Time would tell. Time will tell. We'll see what the Knicks do. We'll see what the Yankees do. But I do definitely feel good about the Yankees. Like, we love seeing the Rays scrap together some wins, bullshit the ball around and get singles and win games and steal bases. But the big bad Yankees with the freaking $400 trillion lineup with the big bad Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are not to be fought with. I hope that's not too annoying. I'm trying to cough out of the mic, but I'll have you guys know it's tough.
Jack's going to get in there and just edit out every single cough.
I'm not.
Put a bleeper.
Well, I'm just thinking about the direction you're coughing. I'm like, all right, I have to touch that light with a glove.
Don't be a pussy, dude. I'm over here playing sick. All right. Honestly, I wasn't even coughing. I had a sore throat and I've been a little sick, but I didn't cough until I started talking so much. Now I can't stop coughing. So, Yankees, good week. Orioles, good week too. Orioles. Don't sleep on the Orioles. They are emerging, doing pretty good, okay? We slept on them. Orioles, they went 7-3. Sorry, they went 5-2 this week. They won 7 of the last 10. Second most runs in MLB this week. 6 starters this week. And all of them had a sub-3 ERA. So that is the big X factor with the Orioles. I mean, their starting pitching has been the problem the past 2-3 years. This week they fixed that. And look what happens. They win 7 of their last 10. So Kyle Bradish has 2 starts, gives up just 1 run. And that's going to work. Blaze Alexander. I feel like a guy named Blaze Alexander should have come up on our radar a little bit more. I mean, you're a guy named Blaze. I figured a guy named Blaze, he'd be like one of the top prospect, but he's like 27.
He had a bit of a run with the Diamondbacks the past 2 years. He was actually a decent hitter, but the Diamondbacks traded him to the Orioles this offseason, and that was a pretty quiet move because he's a utility infielder. But yeah, totally took me by surprise this week.
Can he steal?
No.
Well, a guy named Blaze.
It's like when pitchers have names like Walker or Homer, where you're like, you don't have the appropriate name.
Change your name, Blaze.
Blaze Alexander last year had more caught stealing than steals.
Jeez. Diamondbacks were just like, well, your name is Blaze. You can steal, right? No, I can't. Steal. And then, damn, more caught than steal.
Does have 6 stolen bases to 2 caught stealing this year, so I guess that's an improvement. But yeah, he's not Chandler Simpson.
Well, let's give Blaze some glaze. 6 games this week, had a home run, batted .500 with a 1,295 OPS, carried the Orioles to a good week, and they have comfortably surpassed the Orioles. They're not in last place. The Red Sox, who are the last place team. Give me some good news on the Red Sox.
David Ortiz said today that John Henry's concerned about the direction of the Red Sox.
Okay, that's bad news.
Section 10, I think Tyler reported that they feel like they need a translator for Craig Breslow.
Milliken's breaking the news over there. Like that.
So, Jarren Duran's really good right now.
Jarren Duran had a great month this month. So, hey, they've been thinking about trading him for years. I guess this is the time to do it. He's going to be a free agent this year, right?
I thought they had him under a contract. Yeah, no, he's not a free agent until 2029.
Okay. Well, maybe if I know anything about the Red Sox, they're going to look to trade that guy if he continues this up. So like what's like the stat line for him? I had his May stats and they're amazing. We'll just take my word for it. It was an amazing week for Jarren Duran.
Let's pull up the May. I mean, this week alone, I think he had like 3 homers.
He had a 393 this week, 4 home runs this week in 6 games.
In May, he raised his OPS from 511 to 695. He batted 261 with a 548 slugging. He had an 879 OPS. So a lot of the damage, 9 home runs, a lot of the damage was at the very beginning of the month. He hit 3 homers, and then the last week in May, he hit 4 homers. So just a really good first few days and a really good last few days kind of helped him out.
And they're moving the Sitco sign?
They're moving the Sitco sign. Jack, I don't know if you know this, but like Fenway Park, in the background, there's this big Sitco sign.
Oh, I do know.
When I was a kid, I used to think there was just a gas station right behind Fenway Park. But they're moving the sign. It's been there for like, what, 50, 60 years? I think in the 70s.
Where are they moving it?
They're moving it like 250 yards back to a different building. But it's going to be gone for the next 6 months.
Wow. That's sad. They had to replace the Monster Energy drink sign on the Green Monster and the fucking DraftKings sign on the Green Monster. They're selling their soul, the Red Sox. Last place team, the Boston Red Sox, but it could be worse. You could be the Detroit Tigers. So the Detroit Tigers having a god-awful season. So on July 8th, 2025, last season, right before the All-Star break, they had the best record in baseball. They were 6th in runs. Their team ERA was a 3.46. Since then, 3rd worst record in baseball. Only the Angels and Rockies have been worse than the Tigers since July 2025. 2nd to last in runs. They have a 235 average. They went 6-22 this month. Not only that, they lose Tarek Skubal to injury. This May, last in runs, last in home runs, 2nd last in average, worst OPS in baseball, and the worst record in baseball. And you might be asking why. Well, there's a lot of reasons why, but a main reason is, ooh, my arm. Ow. Jackson Job's on the injured list. Casey Mize on the injured list. Reese Olson on the injured list. Tarek Skubal on the injured list. Justin Verlander on the injured list. But you can't even blame that because still, 9th best starters ERA with all these guys on the injured list. It's the offense that sucks crap. 26 in runs. They also have injuries on that front. Gleyber Torres, Trey Sweeney, Javier Baez, and Parker Meadows. However, 26 in runs, not going to get it done. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Angels, which hurts. And then they get swept by the right Sox. We're going to have to start calling them the Right Sox.
They're doing everything right now.
And not only that, is they lose Casey Mize. So another injured pitcher.
He was already injured, came back, and then I think he had 2 starts, and then went right back on the injured list. 3 starts.
Yeah. So Casey Mize is back on the injured list. They have a game against the Angels against Grayson Rodriguez, who came into this game with a 10.61 ERA. Then he goes 5 innings, allows 1 run on 2 hits against the Tigers. So that's a get right game. You get to face the Tigers. That's a free dub. They do score 10 runs. First time they scored 10 runs in a game since April 16th against the Angels. But like I said, doesn't get better from there because they get swept.
Isn't that 10 runs from the Angels, or not the Angels, the Rays game yesterday?
Oh, sorry. That was yesterday, not against the Angels. So either way. They scored 10 runs against the Rays. That was the first time in fucking 2
And they
months.
almost blew it.
They almost did. Yeah, they had a bad error in there, but they ended up beating the Rays. So just maybe the Rays suck. I don't know. I will tell you this, though. The White Sox don't suck. So they get swept by the White Sox. So the White Sox are hot again. Let's go. 6 out of the last 7 games were wins for the White Sox. They're currently 1.5 games back of the Guardians. Their playoff odds, 18.4%. That seems low to me.
I was looking at the White Sox and Tigers playoff odds because I'm expecting those playoff odds to be like completely inversed at this point.
No, it's insane. So
but yeah, 18% for the White Sox. I feel like with the way they've been playing should at least crack 25%.
yeah, they're in a playoff spot right now. They have the second wild card spot in the AL. But 18.4% chance to make the playoffs. The Tigers have an 11.1% chance. And the Twins have a better chance to make the playoffs than them. 21.6%. They just played both these teams and dog walked them. So they have a 4-game series against the Twins, win 3 out of 4. Munetaki Murakami hits home run number 20. That's the most home runs by a rookie before June since 1901 for Murakami. 4th fastest player in MLB history to reach 20 home runs. And do you know why?
Why?
He's got power. Unfortunately, he got injured, so that sucks. Murakami left Friday's game with a hamstring injury. Will be on the IL. Grade 2 hamstring strain. 4 to 6 weeks, bro. So
That puts us right at the All-Star break.
yeah, that is a crushing loss, actually, because not only was he the White Sox best player, best home run hitter in the league, he was becoming one of the fan favorites because he has so much power. Silver lining, though, the White Sox got a new Japanese player. So, Riku Nishida. This is the first Japanese-born player, born and raised Japanese player, to play Division I baseball in America, then play in the majors. So, I don't know what happened. Did he get drafted in the MPB or what? But
He, what's that guy's name? The big guy who's playing college baseball right now.
Sasaki.
He's taking the same route as Nishida did, where Nishida just decided to skip MPB, or maybe he didn't even get signed, but he went straight to college in the U.S. He did community college, and then went to the University of Oregon. Was using wood bats in college,
Really?
and then he got drafted in the 11th round, and then came up through the minors.
Yeah, so he doesn't seem like he was like a big prospect even in Japan.
Well, he's not a big guy.
Yeah, no, 5'6", 150 pounds for Riku Nishida, who has had a hot start to his career, man. In his debut, he got his first hit in the 4th inning. That game, he gets a ball in right field. Ground ball to right field. Guns a guy at home. I'm like, who is this guy? He looks like, reminds me of Ichiro Suzuki.
What number is he wearing?
He looks like Ichiro Suzuki out there. Is that Ichiro Suzuki? So he guns a runner home in his first game. Next game, rips another single. I'm like, dude, this might be Ichiro Suzuki. It gets even better. Then in extra innings, gets another ground ball. Twins try to score the go-ahead run. He guns another runner. So 2 hits, 2 outfield assists in his first 2 games. Play the quote. They start comparing him to Ichiro. This is what he has to say on these Ichiro comparisons.
No. Still heavy, my 51. I want to change my number right now.
Now cross your mind making it way smaller.
I'll try my best. No Ichiro, not like Ichiro. I cannot be like Ichiro.
You channeled your Ichiro, though.
What?
Maybe you channeled him a little bit.
No.
No, don't compare me to Ichiro. Too late, motherfucker. You are Ichiro. You're the White Sox newest Ichiro. Because you play right field, you're number 51, you smack singles, and you gun runners out. Respect. So after Saturday, the White Sox had won 15 of their last 18 home games, while the Tigers have lost 23 of their last 31 road games. They sweep the Tigers. Have another electric. I mean, I've been watching these games, these highlights in Chicago, and the stadium looks electric, bro.
I went to a game in Chicago last year. Granted, it was like 40 degrees, but that stadium was the emptiest stadium I've ever been in. They closed off the top decks. People were just sitting right behind home plate because their seats above got closed off, and now it's full. It's like a packed house at whatever they call it now, Rate Field.
Guaranteed rate field. It's beautiful. So against the Tigers, Riku Nishida comes up again, clutches up. Game-tying sacrifice bunt in the 9th. Love it. Then Miguel Vargas comes up, and bang bong. Miguel Vargas, that's another great story, because I remember when he got traded from the Dodgers to the White Sox, they had pictures of him when they were playing the A's, and he just looked like he wanted to kill himself. I mean, he just got traded from the best team of all time right before 2 World Series to the worst franchise in baseball, had the worst record since 200 years. Looked like his career was kind of screwed because of that. Well, all he's done this year is been the best Miguel Vargas.
The best Miguel Vargas out there.
Yeah, I don't want.
Well, I mean, here's the walk-off homer. Look at the crowd on this. Well, it was a Friday, but this is a packed house.
Yeah, a lot of shirtless guys out there. A lot of shirtless guys out there. Miguel Vargas, 2.4 WAR. He actually leads position players on their team in WAR, so he's actually had a better season by B-WAR than Colson Montgomery and Munetaki Murakami. Tip your cap to my guy.
It's crazy that Murakami goes on the IL, and the White Sox don't skip a beat.
No. Hey, they got to play the Tigers, so it doesn't count. Anything else? I mean, also Davis. Sorry, Davis Martin gets underrated too. He's still 2 ERA for him in 11 starts, 8-1 on the season, 3.1 WAR for him. And then this other guy you have him in here, Anthony Kay. So yeah, Anthony Kay last year was the best starting pitcher on the Bay Stars in Japan. He signed a contract with the White Sox. I don't think anyone. What about Trevor Bauer? I think Anthony Kay was the best starting pitcher on the Bay Stars last year. With Yokohama, I'm trying to pull up the stats and now it's frozen on me. But I think he had like a 2 ERA with Yokohama. 174 ERA in Japan last year. So the White Sox signed him to a deal. I don't think anyone talked about it. 2-year, $12 million contract. And he has a 3.77 ERA, but recently I think he's been hot. Yeah. So he had one start back in April where he allowed 8 runs. Terrible start. But since then, he's had a 2.72 ERA. He's allowed just 1 run in his last 3 starts. Yeah. So he's pitched 5 years in MLB, but never was a starter. He's starting this year. He's got a 3.77 ERA, which is great. However, that's with an 8-run outing. So if you take that out, I'm going to assume that he's got like a 3. 2.72 since then, which I believe Mitchell just said, but clap it up for them. Clap it up for the White Sox, who are now 1.5 games back in a playoff spot comfortably. Unfortunately, as soon as they get hot, the Guardians also got hot. So the Guardians have fended them off because the Guardians are playing well. They did lose a series to the Nationals, which ain't that bad as we used to think it was. The Nationals are actually pretty good. And they also lose another series to the Red Sox. So Guardians aren't really playing that good.
They were hot coming into the week.
They were 8-2 of the last 10 coming into the week. 4.5 games up on the White Sox going into the week. That's what we kind of felt like, oh, okay, the White Sox, the magic's over for the White Sox. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but the Guardians are pulling away from it. They go in opposite directions this week. The White Sox damn near go undefeated, and the Guardians lose 2 series.
Last episode, we talked about the Guardians starting pitching being excellent, and then they immediately sucked this week. So against the Nationals, best offense in baseball, so you kind of give them a little bit of a break. But the starting pitchers had a 9 ERA against the Nationals, and then they allowed 7 runs in 15 innings to the Red Sox. So the pitchers weren't even going that long. Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox got to still have like the worst offense in baseball, right? I think that's only at home. Well, were they playing on the road? They're playing on the road. Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, Boston, I don't think has a great offense in general. Yeah, 27th in runs. But at home, they're like particularly bad. Yeah, I gave up 18 runs to the Red Sox in 2 games. Not going to work.
Still stay in first place, though, for the Guards. Guardians in first. White Sox in second. Right behind them is the Twins. The Twins, man, they lost their playoff position, unfortunately. They don't do too great. They're 5 games under 500. And the Royals, oh my freaking gosh, dude. They lose the whole week, bro. 0-6 on the week. Get swept by the Yankees and the Rangers. Might be time to call it. I don't like calling things in June, but it might be time to call it.
The Royals have like gone under the radar with how bad they've been because they're not the worst team in the division. Like the Rays or the Tigers have been so bad.
I know. I mean, how do you lose? I mean, the Royals weren't good going into the week. They were 3-7 going into the week. 9 games back of the Guardians going into the week. Then lost every single game this week and still aren't the worst team in the division. That's how bad the Tigers have been.
But yeah, in May, the Tigers obviously disastrous May. But then the Royals had the 3rd worst record in baseball. They only won 4 more games than the Tigers, and I think 2 of those wins were against the Tigers.
And it's funny because this is all while having the most valuable position player in baseball, other than Ohtani.
Bobby Witt Jr. had more WAR among position players than like 9 teams in May. He had 1.8 WAR. The Royals, as an entire team, like the position players, had 1.2 WAR. There was only 1 or 2 other position players. I think it was Michael Garcia and Michael Massey. So if your name is Michael on the Royals, you did okay. But everyone else had a WAR under 0.
Yeah. I mean, I still get perplexed by Bobby Witt. I mean, he's got a 127 WRC plus. I know that's good, but like most valuable player in baseball. Listen, I know defense wins championships. I'm a shortstop myself. Premium defense at a premium position. That's very valuable. But like, come on, 127 WRC plus. You got the best WAR in baseball. This is what the numbers are telling me.
Bobby Witt Jr. outs above average loves Bobby Witt Jr. He has 16 outs above average, but I think he has 7 defensive runs saved. And I was looking at this yesterday, but defensive runs saved is not a big fan of Bobby Witt Jr. Before this year, he had a career negative 22 defensive runs saved. But outs above average loves Bobby Witt Jr. He's always in like the 90th percentile. So defensive metrics are not unanimous on Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, he also gets a lot of points for his base running. 17 steals on the year. But yeah, he's worth 3.6 wins despite having a WRC plus of 127, which is good, but not like elite. I don't think he'd be ranked in the top 20. I don't think he'd be ranked in the top 30, Mitch. In WRC plus, yet he's the most valuable player in the league. So if you took off Bobby Witt Jr. from this team, they'd be even worse. Without Bobby Witt Jr., they'd be 20-40. Worst record in baseball. They're damn near close to it anyway. So pick it up, Royals, or I'm going to have to put you on my shit list. Actually, you know what? You're already on my shit list because I picked you to be good this year, and then you embarrassed me.
We got so fooled by the World Baseball Classic. It's not even funny.
They were tired. They were tired, man. Why? You rather play for Italy than the Royals? Venezuela? You rather play for Venezuela than the Royals? What about the Kansas?
I do think Venezuelans would rather play for Venezuela than the Royals.
Kansas City is your new home, bro. Unfortunately, the Twins are also in this division. They lost the series to the White Sox, 3 out of 4, as we just said, but you can't blame them. The White Sox are the best team in the world. And then they get swept by the Pirates. So a lot of bad shit going on in the Central other than my White Sox. A lot of bad shit that I'd rather not even really talk about. Unless there's something that really just jumps off the page to you, Mitch.
I mean, the only thing that I'm taking away from the Pirates series is the manager of the Twins is Derek Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be the manager of the Pirates.
Revenge game.
So he comes into PNC Park looking for a revenge game, and he just gets swept. And someone tweeted, I can't remember who it is now, but Derek Shelton getting swept at PNC Park is a completely normal occurrence or something. So Derek Shelton, tough week for you. You think you're going to get revenge? Here's the tweet. Derek Shelton being swept at PNC Park, it's like he never left.
All right, you going to give credit to the guy who tweeted it, dude?
Nathan
Jeez.
Hirsch.
God, fucking asshole. Sorry, Nathan. I got your back, dude. But yeah, good for Derek Shelton. Embarrassing. Idiot. Just kidding. Sorry.
It is tough, for the Twins fans. Everyone's against you. Everyone hates you. People complain about your park. You get into a playoff spot and shock the world, right? And then you immediately go 1-6.
Yeah. I don't even know. The thing is, everyone hates you. No one likes you. I don't know. People just don't think about the Twins. They're a little just irrelevant, which is worse than being hated in a lot of respects. So the Twins are playing bad. But my Mariners, I like my Mariners, bro. The Mariners are hot. Watch out.
They completely flipped the script this week.
Yep. So they came into the week 4-6 the last 10, 2-game losing streak. We were 2.5 games back of the A's. Not anymore. 4 games below 500. Not anymore. They went undefeated this week. Have won 7 in a row. They sweep the A's. Hold the A's to 4 runs in 3 games. Is that at home? Had to be at home.
No.
They held the A's in Sutter Park, the most offensive-friendly park, to 4 runs. Now they're doing this new pitching strategy where now they have 6 starters on the roster. All of them are great starters, capable starters. So they had to move a starter to the bullpen. So now they had like this quasi-starter system where they'll have a starter start and then another starter come after them. So instead of a reliever coming in after the starter, it's a starter coming after a starter. So one starter will pitch 4 innings, and then the next starter will come in and pitch the next 5 innings. They tried this out against the A's, and both pitchers were not happy about it. So Bryce Miller was asked about it. He said he wasn't really a fan of it, but he'll do it if the team asked me to. And then Luis Castillo, after pitching, I think 4 scoreless, was taken out of the game and is in the dugout freaking out, very pissed off. So Mariners fans are thinking, oh my God, what's going on? Why does the front office want to do this stuff? Pissing off the players. Season's already going bad. This isn't good. Since then, they're undefeated. So not only that, is that the starters have been amazing. So the 6th best starting staff in baseball this season in general, right? 2nd best bullpen in baseball. So 6th best starting staff in baseball and 2nd best bullpen in baseball. That's on the year. But this week alone, since starting the strategy, they got the lowest ERA in the league, and starters had a 1.08 ERA. Not freaking bad. So the first time they did this, they're doing this with Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller. They allowed 2 runs and struck out 10 over 9 innings, I believe. And then the second time they did it, they
2 runs over 10 innings.
Oh, did they go in the extras?
They went into extras. This is what confuses me so much. They are so committed to this piggybacking thing, where it's basically like as soon as that second pitcher comes in, that bullpen phone is dead.
Really?
They're not calling anybody. So they went into extra innings on Sunday. Bryce Miller pitched 5 innings, and then Luis Castillo pitched 5 innings. But in the 10th inning, they didn't even think, maybe we should go to one of our high leverage arms. They stuck it out with Castillo, and they won.
Yeah, so they have the 2nd best bullpen in baseball, but they're just ignoring it in these games because it seems like a long-term strategy. Like, listen, we got 6 starters. They're all good starters. We are pretty confident there's a good chance we're not going to have 6 starters for the whole year. So you don't want to put like Luis Castillo or Bryce Miller in the bullpen, have them pitch, 1 inning every 3 days. Now they're not built up to make starts in the future. We got to keep them on their starter's length. So they're piggybacking.
And like typically teams will have, a long reliever, a guy who can pitch 2, 3, 4 innings if they need to. But the issue with that is you don't really know when you're going to need the long reliever. So sometimes the long reliever doesn't pitch multiple innings at a time. His arm gets kind of worn down. Then when he needs to ramp back up, it's been 3 or 4 weeks. So I guess the Mariners are just like, Luis Castillo is not a long reliever in the traditional sense, but we got to keep his innings up. So we're just going to have him pitch on a scheduled day, and he'll pitch 4, 5, 6 innings if needed. And they're just rotating. And then everyone in the bullpen gets a day off.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, as a fan of baseball, I like this. It's something new. I've never seen this been done before. I can see why the pitchers might not be that big of fans of it, but guess what, man? It's working. 1.808 ERA on the week for the starters. Undefeated. The pitching's been great, but we can't even sleep on the offense. Offense is great too. 10 home runs this week for the M's.
10 home runs in the series against the Diamondbacks.
Wow. I apologize. 10 home runs in a series. So they entered the week 2.5 games back from first and ended the week 2.5 games in first place. Shout out to my Mariners. Luke Raley's hot. J.P. Crawford's hot. Julio Rodriguez is hot. Randy Rosarena's been hot. He's been their best hitter. Cal Raleigh ain't even on the team. Just wait till they get Raleigh back. Luke Raley actually has been the most underrated hitter in the league.
He has a 161 OPS plus. Not an everyday starter. He's a platoon bat, basically. They're using him when righties are on the mound. I think they're using Ref Snyder, and they were using one other guy. When a lefty's pitching. Ref Snyder hasn't been that great, but he did homer against the A's. And then they have Colt Emerson, who's been really hot to start his career. Emerson has a 157 OPS plus in his first 14 games.
Let's go. So the Mariners on a 7-game winning streak, they just leapfrogged the the A's. They're in first place, but the Rangers as well. Don't sleep on the Rangers. Another winning streak, 4-game winning streak for them. They also leapfrogged the A's. So the A's get bumped down to third. The Mariners are in first and the Rangers are in second, while the Astros and Angels cry in the cellar. Today's episode is brought to you by Gusto. If you know that feeling when you finally clean out a junk drawer that's been bothering you for months, that's what switching to Gusto feels like for my business. Payroll, HR, benefits, all the admin chaos that has been piling up, finally organized in one place. I do use Gusto, mother truckers. That's how I pay this fucking idiot, Jack, who the reason why he hasn't been talking a lot is because he drank fucking gluten-free beers in Virginia last night.
It's not even remotely true. I wasn't even drunk.
He's changing his story. He was drinking in Virginia last night. I still have to pay him. Well, and I will pay him, and I will do it through Gusto. Right now, everyone is trying to run leaner, tighter budget, smaller teams, higher expectations. The last thing you have time to waste on is a manual payroll or chasing down an HR form. Gusto is how small businesses owners and time to get your time back at every hour it counts. Because if you run a small business, you fucking know all the little bullshit you have to do. Small things, if you forget it, they fine you. They fucking piss you off. They make you do all this dumb bullshit constantly. When you really should be focused on running a damn business, you're running on paperwork and payroll and dumb things. Organize it all with Gusto. Sick interface, easy to understand. Simple shit. I use it, so why don't you use it? The economy is a lot right now. If you're a small business owner, you probably feel it. You can't control interest rates or tariffs, but you can control how efficiently your business operates. Automating payroll and HR with Gusto is one of the fastest ways to cut out the friction and focus on what actually moves the needle. So don't be an idiot. Get some Gusto going on. It's an online payroll and benefits software for small businesses. It's all in one, remote friendly, and incredibly easy to use so you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. Automatic payroll, tax filing, simple direct deposits, health benefits, commuter benefits, workers' comp, 401k, you name it. Gusto makes it simple and has options for nearly every budget. Ranked number 1 on G2's highest satisfaction report for 2026, trusted by over 400,000 small businesses. It's quick and simple to switch to Gusto. Just transfer your existing data. Get up and running fast. Plus, don't pay a cent until you run your first payroll. So, try Gusto today by going to gusto.com/PDE and get 3 months for free. Woo! 3 months for free when you run your first payroll. That is 3 months for free of free payroll at gusto.com/PDE. One more time, gusto.com/PDE. Do it right now. Give it up for Gusto. And give it up for the Texas Rangers, who have been pretty irrelevant this year, man. They just been playing low-key, not doing too much. And then they lose 3 out of 4 to the Astros, and we think, oh my gosh, what is going on? They get no hit on Monday. You got no hit by the Astros. You know what that is? You suck. Because you got no hit by the Astros. Thank God they got a guy named Jacob deGrom who just got his 100th career win. Fucking took him long enough. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's one of the best pitchers of all time.
And he's 37.
And he's 37. He just got his 100th win. Injuries, man. Got to ban him. Allowed just 2 runs in 6 innings. Did allow a take the Yordan Alvarez, but they lost. I don't even know why I brought that up, but
He got his 100th.
he got his 100th win.
Yesterday.
He did have a pretty unnotable start earlier and lost, but there you go. Jock Peterson, he's hot.
He's been really good this year quietly. I think he started the season terribly. Everybody wrote him off because he was bad last year, but for this season, even after the bad start, he has a 134 OPS plus.
You're gonna need him. You're gonna need him if you're gonna want to face these Mariners. Luckily, after losing 3 out of 4, they win the last game. I don't know. No, they don't win the last game, but they sweep the Royals. I don't think they won that last game. It doesn't really fucking matter. They sweep the Royals, so they got to play the Royals. So maybe we shouldn't get too hyped because it was against the Royals, but they took care of business. Kenzie Gore has a good start. They're gonna need him to fucking turn it around. Wake up, Gore. Kumar Rocker shut him down for 6 innings. Jack Leiter had 10 Ks on Sunday. So the pitchers went off.
Leiter has had 2 10 strikeout games this year. He's had this weird thing where he's been very good.
That's weird.
Except for like 1 or 2 innings. So like his ERA looks bad. He has a 4.34 ERA, but he's pitched fairly well. It's just like a Michael Soroka 2025 issue. 1 inning's kind of ruining his overall line.
This is a very strange thing happening.
It's a very
strange thing happening in Texas. There's this pitcher named Kumar Rocker, and he's pitching good. It's fucking weird because he usually sucks. So Mitchell says.
I'm saying not about Jack Leiter.
Wait, what?
Jack Leiter.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Kumar Rocker.
No, we're talking about Jack Leiter.
Easy mistake because they're college teammates. Right?
Right?
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Okay, good. They were college teammates. Now they're major league teammates, and they will combine to get them into the playoffs. Playing a lot better ball, man. I like that. I like when teams succeed. I don't want to Brandon. I mean, sorry, not Brandon Nimmo. Jock Peterson. That's surprising. Guy's having a resurgence. Love it. Don't sleep on them. Like, you can't sleep on the A's, though, because the A's, man, down bad. The ABS turned on them. The Yankees fucked them 2 out of 3, and the Mariners swept them. They also lose Severino. Gives up 4 runs. They were all unearned, but left with an injury. That is a shoulder strain. So, pretty serious injury, I believe, right? Typically a shoulder strain. That might mean that he's not coming back anytime soon. If you're the A's, you definitely want him to come back soon because the A's, that's kind of been their issue, is starting pitchers. Granted, they do play in the worst ballpark in the league for starting pitchers, but they are 21st in starters ERA, and that's their big name guy, and now he is no longer even a name guy because he can't pitch. Sucks to suck. They lost 5 of their last 6 games. Are now tied with the Rangers in second and 2.5 games back of the Mariners. Anything to add on the Athletics?
Just a tough week to go from 2.5 games ahead in first place to not even being in second.
It's crazy. Could be worse. It could be the Astros, who did throw a no-hitter and did win 3 out of 4 against the Rangers. They're playing a little better ball, but then they had to play the Brewers, and that usually ends in something bad happening.
They had to face J-Miz, man. Like.
Yeah.
You split the first 2 games in the series. You feel pretty good normally about going into that 3rd game, but then you look at the mound and it's Jacob Mizorowski, and you're like, oh, we're not even. Our pitching could be lights out. They only allowed 2 runs, but you're facing J-Miz, so
yeah, and that's
no shot.
That's the starting staff that never gives up 2 runs. They give up 10 runs a start. I will say this though: there's a guy who's gone under the radar for them.
Spencer Arrighetti.
Arrighetti. You got to add him in that conversation of like best Mays. Why am I not seeing it? I swear he was like.
No, you're dead on. He had like a 1 ERA this month. He allowed.
Yeah, 3rd lowest ERA in baseball this month. So it's Christopher Sanchez, Jacob Mizorowski, who everyone's talking about. Then right behind him, Spencer Arrighetti. Better ERA than a Shohei this month. Wait, that's not right. Sorry, not better than Shohei, but still pretty good. 0.93 ERA for Arrighetti. Italian guy. Yo, you guys want to do Italian after this?
What do you mean do Italian?
You suck.
Like food. I don't know why I asked that.
I can't do Italian. I'm allergic to all of Italian. Pretty
Are you
much.
fucking racist? I'm allergic to Italians. Wow. We got a
Allergic
bigot.
to
We got a-
gluten, bread,
we got a-
spaghetti, pasta, tortellinis.
I didn't stop you last night from drinking 12 beers and being late for the
I
podcast.
haven't had a beer in like 10 years.
Guy's hungover as shit, can barely speak.
I'm literally sober.
God, annoying. Be professional for once in your life, dude. Guy's addicted to beers.
To call my sponsor.
All right. So, Astros, step it up, bro. What else on the Astros? Oh, Imai's doing good again. Another quality start. 2 in a row. 6 innings, 2 earned runs.
ERA's dropped from 8.31 to 5.52
He
in
almost,
just 2 starts.
he almost outpitched J-Miz.
Maybe he's adjusting to Houston a little bit better.
We got the new J-Miz. Yeah, he probably, because he went down to Corpus Christi or whatever the fucking minor league.
And he
He's
realized
like,
maybe it wasn't so
shit."
bad.
Yeah. I can adjust to Houston just fine. They got me in Corpus Christi. You ever been to Corpus Christi?
Never been to Texas.
Damn.
Really?
No.
Texas is pretty chill. Never
Don't,
been to Corpus Christi though.
don't mess with Texas. I've been to Houston. I know I haven't.
Didn't you go to the All-Star game in Arlington?
Yes. Dallas, Arlington area, Fort Worth.
You went from Arlington to Arlington?
Gotta tell you, man, this Arlington's a lot better. I'll keep my ass in Arlington, Virginia. A lot better than Arlington, Texas. For a lot of reasons. Not as hot. Cooler vibes. Smaller. Less.
Less
Small, just less.
less big
Smaller
roads.
and everything's bigger in Texas, so everywhere else is smaller and less.
They don't even have like a national cemetery you can go chill at.
Yeah,
I
We're-
guess they don't have an Arlington National Cemetery, don't they?
they should.
Why not have two?
They actually might. There are national cemeteries that look exactly like Arlington Cemetery all over this country. Mostly in places where big
The
wars are
national cemetery in that area is called the Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery. They completely left out Arlington.
Not as good as Arlington National Cemetery. No offense. Changing of the guards. Arlington House. All the graves, and you walk around for miles. Pay your respects to the fallen soldiers.
It's pretty cool. You ever been, Mitch?
I haven't been since I moved here. I went when I was a kid, so I really don't remember much.
This guy hates the troops. He's a piece of shit.
I
How would
know.
you like to die in war?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. So maybe you go on the way home today. See the changing of the guards. Attention. Angels in the outfield. Won a series. Vaughn Grissom's batting third for him.
It's not like he's been that good, but he's been better than the other options, I guess.
I love that when you just ran. Oh, Vaughn Grissom batting third. And he's wearing number 5, so he's got Pujols' number. It's like very weird, like seeing a Vaughn Grissom in 4 and out 5.
And he's playing first, so
Yeah.
he's Albert Pujols.
I do feel like he's like gotten bigger. He's like Jack now.
He was only like 22 when he debuted, so
Yeah, he's only 25 now. Playing a little better ball for the Angels, who are a team full of, no offense, they are playing better in general, but the team isn't really exciting. The Mike Trout's continued to hit well, so I'm happy about that. But other than that, we got Jose Siri robbing a ball, saving the food. I like that, but I don't know much else on the Angels other than they scored 5 off Drew Rasmussen. So you win 2 out of 3 against the Rays, who are coming in the hottest team in baseball. Pretty freaking good, actually. Didn't expect it. Tip your cap, man. Mike Trout stays hot. 32.1% walk percentage this week. Mike Trout just keeps getting walked and keeps hitting.
he has, I think, the highest walk rate in baseball. I don't want to misspeak, but yeah, he has a higher walk rate than Nick Kurtz, who had a walk in 30 straight games?
Gotta respect it. Mike Trout MVP conversation?
think the tough thing with Trout is he is far and away the best hitter on the Angels. And so if you're facing the Angels, you'd much rather pitch to everybody else but Trout.
Yeah, it's insane. He leads the league in runs, which is crazy because he plays for the Angels. So you don't think they'd really be scoring a lot of runs, but he gets on base so much that he do be scoring a lot of runs. He do be scoring the most amount of runs for Mike Trout. Maybe trade him to the Braves. The Braves could use another player. Get out of the way, Yaz.
I mean, Mike Yastrzemski with a mustache is probably a better player than Mike Trout.
Yeah, the Braves, we got enough over here. We got the best record in baseball. First team to 40 wins for the Braves. We embarrassed the Red Sox 2 out of 3. And then we embarrassed the Reds 2 out of 3. And just do what the Braves do, man.
I think the big story of the week was Acuna. Had 2 home runs coming into the week. People were talking about, man, is he good? His on-base percentage was higher than his slugging percentage, and then he hits a grand slam in Boston. Hits another home run the next day. Hits 2 home runs on the next day, and then he hits a leadoff homer on Sunday. So that's 5 homers in 4 games.
5 home runs in 4 games, and also 4 steals in 3 games. 4 steals in 4 games, 4 steals in 3 games. 2 steals in 1 game, no steals the next game, 2 steals in the next game. So 2 games with 2 steals.
Sound like Dr. Seuss.
2 games with 2 steals in 3 games.
Red fish, blue fish.
And if you look at the old stats, he really wasn't stealing. So it took him in his previous 15 games, he had 4 steals. Then he stole 4 steals in 3 games. So it makes you think, when he's stealing, he's hitting. So should we let him steal again? Is there anything to that? I'm sorry, it's 5 steals in 4 games. So as soon as he starts stealing, he starts hitting home runs. Are they correlated? Do you just can he be a guy who can't play with training wheels? And why do you think they just started letting him steal all of a sudden?
I feel like the Braves can't necessarily handicap Acuna's stealing abilities, but he did come off the IL with a hamstring injury, and I wonder if there was just 1 week where they're take it easy, you're not fully healthy, but you're ready to hit. And then after that week period, they're okay, do your thing.
Yeah, this was one of the most dramatic shifts in statistics I've seen. In 5 games, Acuna went from a 695 OPS, a sub 700, to an 821 in 5 games.
The crazy thing, too, was up until his 9th inning single on Sunday, there was no hit. There was no other hit besides a home run. He was either homering or walking. He walked twice on Thursday, twice on Friday. He walked 1 time on Saturday, and then walked 2 more times on Sunday. So he was just walking and hitting home runs.
6 hits, 5 home runs in 4 games. And in 4 games, his OPS goes from 695 to 821. Unbelievable. Unbelievable for Ronald Acuna. Yep, still pretty good at baseball. Still pretty good for baseball. And the Braves are still pretty good at baseball. Best record in baseball. Best pitching staff in baseball.
Best relief corps.
Best relief. Add that to the list. They're second in runs, 5th in starters ERA, and they have the best relievers in MLB.
There was a stat about Dylan Lee, who is not a household name for sure, but he is one of 4 relievers, according to Just Baseball, I believe, with a strikeout per 9 above, I think, 11 and an ERA below 120.
And you believe that? Or is that obviously AI?
I mean, I believe it.
Oh, well, it's AI. Matt Olson leads the league in doubles. Also, I think, honestly, the most surprising player for me is Michael Harris, bro. What the fuck happened to him? Why did he suck for 2 years and then all of a sudden he's goated?
Harris can't walk. He has had one of the lowest walk rates in baseball for a long time, which means the pitchers don't feel like they need to throw him strikes. But then suddenly he realized that he could just also swing very hard at balls outside the zone and hit them very hard and very far. His hard hit rate's off the charts, I think. And he's still chasing. He walked twice on Sunday, which was shocking. He's only done that once in the last calendar year. But yeah, he just swings hard, hits the ball hard, and he hits a lot of homers.
That's better than most. So shout out to the Braves, who continue to be the best team in baseball, will continue to be the best team in baseball, unless the Mets turn it around. If they keep playing like how they play against the Marlins, they would be the best team in baseball.
Well, they did get swept by the Marlins last week. So this was a revenge sweep.
Well, last week didn't count. This week, though, against Jack's Marlins, a weekend sweep. 25 runs in 3 games for the Mets. That offense was just the worst in baseball. Just decided to splooge on them.
Up until the Marlins series, it felt like every run was produced by Juan Soto. And then this weekend, it felt like only half of the runs produced were by Soto. So pretty good week overall.
I mean, who do the Mets even have helping out?
Carson Bench apparently has had one of the highest batting averages in baseball over the last month. That shocked me. Didn't hear much. Bench had a terrible first month. He's a rookie outfielder for New York. But in May, let's see, maybe not. Yeah, 19th best average in baseball, 306 average for Carson Bench. I think he had the second best OPS on the Mets in May, too.
So the Mets could get a Rookie of the Year this year? The Mets
Probably not.
Mets might have a Rookie of the Year and MVP with Juan Soto.
Juan Soto had a crazy last half of May. So he was injured, came back. He had 10 home runs this month, played 26 games. But I think he had 7 home runs over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's insanely hot. In his last 11 games, he's got a 1,200 OPS, 872 slugging with 7 home runs in 11 games. 7 home runs in 11 games, and they're 5 and 6 during that span. So it's not really like turning into wins necessarily, but, you know, I think he's having fun.
The big surprise for me this May was that the Yankees and the Mets had the same record.
Wow. What? The Yankees and the Mets had the same record.
They both went 16-12.
Okay.
And it felt like everything was falling apart for the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets did a lot better than I thought they did. Gotta tip your cap to the mighty Mets. Still in last place, 26-34. Third worst record in the NL, but hey, better the same record as the freaking Yankees this month. And guess what? They're only a half game back of the Miami Marlins. They could be in 4th place by the end of the week. I don't want to jinx them. They are playing Seattle. They did lose a close one to Seattle last night. Seattle, hottest team in baseball. Can't blame them. But watch out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets moved into 4th.
They did move into 4th for, 24 hours?
Okay.
But yeah, they've been in last place for 30 out of the last 32 days. But they have had one day where they were in 4th. And then 2 weeks later, they were in 4th for one day again.
Okay, modest Yahoo. Gotta respect it. And then the Phillies, who are above the Mets. The Phillies swept the Padres, had a great series against the Padres. Jesus Luzardo, 6 innings, no earned runs. Brandon Marsh was hitting a home run, batted 4th. No, I'm sorry. Alec Bohm batted 4th for the Phillies this week. Did you have that on your bingo card?
Yeah, the Phillies love hitting Alec Bohm 4th.
Alec Bohm was hitting 4th, and it worked. They swept him. Even Austin Aaron Nola had a good start. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. And then Christopher Sanchez, who's been amazing. Christopher Sanchez becomes only the second pitcher since 1913 to go an entire calendar month without allowing a run. 39 innings, 0 earned runs for Mr. Sanchez. That's via Bleacher Report. Schwarber and Marsh hit home runs. Schwarber now has 21 home runs. Phillies hit 3 solo home runs on Tuesday, so they're hitting and pitching and bombing and booping and bopping for the fighting Phillies. Then they have to play the Dodgers, though. Shit gets a little harder against the Dodgers. Lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. Philly, little slower than they have been since they fired their manager, got that hot streak. They've lost 3 of their last 4 series. Falling back to third, half game back from the Nationals. The Nationals are ahead of the Phillies right now. 1.5 games back of a wild card spot. So I don't know. Any takeaways from the Phillies this week? Anything changed for you? I still think they're a playoff team.
The thing that shocked me, the Phillies had a great month overall, right? They had tied for the 3rd best record in baseball this month. Their pitching was outstanding, obviously, but they didn't score a lot. They were 22nd in runs.
It does feel like their offense is very reliant on Bryce Harper and Schwarber.
It does. I don't think Trey Turner really has ever got going, even after they fired their manager. He has a 73 WRC plus. I don't know his OPS plus. I'm not looking at it right now, but very bad hitting season. Alec Boehm has kind of turned it around, but yeah, Brandon Marsh, very good. He's always gonna have a super high BABIP, but 22nd in runs in a month where your team goes 18-10 makes it's a little conflicting. You know, you kind of feel good about the Phillies' direction, but then you wonder, man, if that pitching staff takes even the slightest step back, those one run wins are going to become 1-run losses.
Yeah, it's like when the Phillies were really bopping when they almost won the World Series in 2 years. Well, they were 1 game away from the World Series, then went to the World Series. Like that was their bread and butter, was the offense. You really don't feel the same way anymore. Like I said, Schwarber and Harper's great, but like Rula Muto, not really an offensive presence anymore. Trey Turner, really, obviously hot and cold forever now. Stott, Boehm, those guys are what they are. And then Adolis Garcia, who has their big free agent signing. He's been worse than Castellanos, man.
They should
have just kept Casty.
The thing about Castellanos, man, his defense is so bad. I was watching a Padres game last week, and they had Tatis at second and Castellanos in right field, and it's just like light years difference watching Tatis in right over Castellanos. And I think the same thing is with Garcia and Castellanos.
He gets bored in the regular season.
Garcia's at least a competent right fielder, you know?
I guess.
But yeah, overall, like 58 or OPS plus isn't going to cut it.
No. Only 4 home runs for Adolis Garcia. Negative .8 WAR. Hey, but if he gets hot, he has got a big neck, so he could probably hit a lot of home runs.
He's got a huge neck.
He's got a big freaking neck. And you know what they say about people with big necks?
What did they say?
Big scarves.
That's exactly what they say. Speaking of the Marlins. Oh, do you want to talk about Bryce Harper's toothpaste?
So last week we talked about Bryce Harper's toothpaste routine where he just goes straight for the mouth from the tube.
Pause.
And the American Dental Association saw that video and they said, please don't emulate. Please don't do it the way Bryce Harper did. An Ohio dentist named Andrew Zucker said it's not the suggested way to do it. And he also said the only person he's ever seen do it was his 3-year-old child trying to eat toothpaste. So the American Dental Association is not a fan of
haters.
toothpaste routine.
This is why I don't trust the medical industry. They're all bullshit.
Is this kind of a 9 out of 10 doctors say don't do, but
Yeah.
1 out of 10 doctors say that's fine?
You gotta trust the one doctor. A lot of times they're the right doctors. They just want to sell more toothpaste. You put on the brusher, you end up using more. They've done the studies. Bryce, keep doing your dude. Marlins. I don't even want to talk about the Marlins, man. You're gonna lose freaking 5 out of fucking 6 on my podcast. Shut up.
You know the Marlins have more Canadians on the team than the Blue Jays.
Wow. Who are the Canadians and the Marlins?
They have Owen Casey, Otto Lopez, and Liam Hicks. And then the Blue Jays only have Vladdy and a guy named Adam Mako. But they lost the series, so they come into Canada with more Canadians and they get beat by the Americans on the Canadian team.
All right. God bless America. Serves you right. Why the fuck would you get Canadians playing your team? They're not even good at baseball. They're good at hockey. They're not even good at that anymore because we beat them and girls and boys, and they can't win a Stanley Cup. Who's in the Stanley Cup? Anyone know?
No idea.
Jeez, dude. We're supposed to know this shit. Apologize to Canada. Big fan of your country. I went there last year. Anyway, so the Marlins, they lose 2 series. And then the Nationals, my favorite team to cover. The Nationals continue to be a fun team. They win 2 out of 3 against the Guardians. James Wood, another home run. How many home runs does James Wood have?
16 homers.
We might have to start talking MVP candidate. 5th in the league in WAR right now. 16 home runs, you say?
16.
Third best hitter in baseball by WRC plus. I mean, the guy can bob it. 409 on base percentage. Because he takes his walks, don't he? 17.5% walk rate.
Takes a lot of walks, strikes out a lot, but hits a lot of homers.
Yeah, I think he leads the league in strikeouts. Am I wrong?
Last week when I checked, he did. I don't know if that's still the case.
I'm never wrong. We're not able to complete the sweep, but they do win 2 out of 3 against the Guardians. And then they play the Padres. 2 out of 3 against the Padres.
The Nationals just won 3 straight series. They faced the Braves, the Guardians, and the Padres. Either a first place teams or a second place team. 2 games over 500.
Love it.
And their hitting is crazy good for whatever reason. When I checked yesterday, they had 4 players who had at least 115 plate appearances with OPS pluses above 125. That's second most in MLB.
Love it. But give me an update on the pitching.
The pitching, I don't know. I think it's better. I mean, they did shut down the Guardians. They only allowed, 8 runs to the Guardians.
Not very good offense historically.
And then the weekend before, they only allowed like 4 runs to the Braves. And then this weekend, they allowed 15 runs to the Padres, but 7 of those runs were in one game.
So the Nationals tied for second place right now. Gotta respect it. Or are they above? I feel like they don't have the same record as the Phillies.
They're like half a game above the Phillies.
Because on Fangraphs it says that they're actually below them. Even though they're the same games back.
Oh, the Nationals lost last night, so they're tied.
Damn. So tied for second. They got above 500. Tip your cap. Speaking of teams on streaky teams, the Diamondbacks had this crazy streak. So they were 13-4 over their last 17 games. This is after Wednesday, so since May 9th, 13-4. You know why? Because they played the Mets, the Rangers, and then had 12 games against the Giants and Rockies. So they're 15-4 against the Mets, Rockies, and Giants this season. So you take that away, if they're not playing those 3 teams, they're absolutely terrible. But right now they're 5 games above 500, and that is after they got swept by the Marlins. But they went through a streak where they just played the Rockies and the Giants back-to-back series each. I think it was 12 games in a row against
12 games in a row. 12
games in a row against the Rockies and the Giants, and then they took care of business, worked their way up into second place, surpassed the Padres, then had to play the Mariners, and unfortunately got swept after playing a real team.
They did beat the Dodgers last night 4-1, so maybe they're back on track.
Okay. The Dodgers are a great team. I will say that. The Dodgers do have the best record in the AL, in the NL West. They don't have the best record in baseball, but they do have the best record in baseball since, and fact check me on this, May 13th. Look that up. Who has the best record since May 13th?
You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers.
I don't miss, motherfuckers. The Dodgers do. And you know why?
Shohei Ohtani.
It's a big reason why. So Shohei Ohtani, leadoff home run in his second start in a row. Let that sink in. 2 starts in a row for Ohtani at the mound. Leadoff home run for himself. Posted the 9th lowest ERA heading into June since 1913. So 10th best pitcher of all time by ERA going into June. Not bad. In May, you want to hear stats in May? 25 innings pitched, 1.08 ERA, .76 whip, 131 batting average against him. Okay, at the plate during that same span, 289 average, 892 OPS, 4 bombs, and 18 RBIs. So he's the 6th best OPS in the NL and the 4th best ERA in the NL. Top 10 hitter, top 10 pitcher, easy peasy. 1.9 F4 pitching, 1.0 F4 hitting. He's hitting as good as he's pitching, and he's pitching as good as he's hitting. That's a 3.8 F4. Leads the league.
His teammate,
WAR.
Teoscar Hernandez, who's a pretty good hitter, right?
I'd say.
His best season is a 4 WAR season, and Otani just had 3.8 WAR in a month.
That's insane. Teoscar Hernandez. It's a multiple-time All-Star, if I'm correct. That's a home run derby champ, a multiple-time All-Star, a World Series champion. Otani just had his best season in the first 2 months.
No, that's just is that 3.8 WAR in May, right?
No. Is it? No, that's on the year. Otani has 3.8 WAR this whole season.
So yeah, in the first 2 months then.
Because I always bothers me when people are like, oh, they'll post like the WAR rankings and that Otani won't be on there because they didn't do the extra step of like
The
adding-
combined WAR.
You didn't combine it.
You got to go to the baseball. Fangraphs has a combined WAR leaderboard, but it's like you have to scroll.
Yeah, why?
get
Just for this one player.
Yeah,
So yeah, on his last start was insane. I don't know if you watched it, but the guy was like raging, dude. He was
pissed
He was
off.
pissed, and he threw a fucking no hitter. Hits a leadoff home run, pitches 6 no-hit innings, gives up a run. He was not happy about that, but he was throwing like mad balls. I don't have the numbers, but he threw like 45% balls.
I think he had 4 walks, right?
He was walking. He was wild as shit. Effectively wild though.
Yeah, 4 walks and a hit by pitch. But yeah, he was pissed. He gets a strikeout, and then he stomps on the mound.
Dude, I think that like maybe his wife or his child pissed him off. He didn't get a good night's sleep the night before. Got in his head like, oh, I didn't get my sleep scores low. Because you know how Otani's very like particular about his sleep.
Isn't he like a 10-hour sleep a night kind of guy?
Yeah. And he's very particular about his sleep and he wears a whoop and shit. So like if his sleep score is off the night before a start, I can see that pissing him off. Not only because like the less not enough sleep, but also like he's annoyed that he might get in his own head. So he might be thinking, oh, because my freaking baby cried, I didn't throw as many strikes. It made him mad. But I don't know. That's speculation. Either way, great player. He's pitching again tomorrow. I can't wait. I love watching Shohei Ohtani start, man.
I think his pitching motion with the Dodgers makes watching him pitch even better. It's very rhythmic.
I just like watching him play. I go, oh my gosh, is today the day he pitches? I'm going to watch this. And then he always does good for me. And I say, thank you, Shohei. You've delivered. It's beautiful.
I feel like people take him for granted.
100%. 100%. It's weird. He has been like overshadowed by these other 2 pitchers in the NL this month. But Shohei Ohtani still could be the Cy Young winner. If the season ends today, would he be the Cy Young winner?
I would put him 3rd.
Yeah, probably not. But guess what? There's a lot of time left. And if he keeps an ERA below 1 on the season, when was the last time a starter had an ERA below 1 on a season? Has that ever happened?
I feel like it's been a while.
I feel like it's been a while.
The closest I can think of is that season Pedro had like a 1.11 ERA.
Well, I think
It's like 99.
I think Kershaw had one and had a couple ones, didn't he? But not below 1.
Not below 1. But yeah, I think Pedro had one of the low, and then Bob Gibson had that like 1.12 ERA.
Well, didn't Roofy Stutes get one? Or Woody Bumpus? 18-14.
Running a stat head career for ERA, qualified ERA under 150. There were the last guy to have an ERA under 1 in a qualified season, so 162 innings or more. Dutch Leonard in 1914.
Who could have forgotten that one? Damn. Now I feel like an idiot. I didn't even get Dutch Leonard. Fuck. So Dodgers take care of business. They win 2 out of 3 against the Phillies and sweep the Rockies. Another great week for the Dodgers, even though fucking Freddie Freeman can't hit. He kicked dirt on. Did you see him kick dirt on JT Realmuto? He kicked dirt on JT Realmuto, then fucking hit a line drive right at the pitcher, hit the pitcher with the ball. And that's a good guy you guys like? Disrespectful. Either way, good news. Rocky Sasaki, best start of the season. Rocky Sasaki's last 3 starts, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. Start after that, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. This weekend, 5 1/3, 1 run allowed, 7 Ks against the Phillies. So Rocky Sasaki, as I called, is turning it around. 3 amazing starts back to back to back. And the Dodgers continue to reign supreme in the West. While the Padres falter, they get swept by the Phillies. They lose 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. However, Tatis alert! Home run. First home run of the year for Tatis Jr. Mitchell, you saw it live, right?
Saw it live.
Did it feel different?
Well, he crushed it. Like the millisecond he hit the ball, you're like, it's a home run. It went 451 feet.
He said, I just knew it right away. About fucking time.
It was his longest home run since 2021.
Wow. Maybe he's back on Kidding. But yeah, anything else you want to wrap up the division? Anything you want to add with the Padres?
It's a weird team. On Saturday when Tatis homered, they've had a terrible offense all year, right? They hit 3 homers that game, and they still lost.
Yeah, well, they played against the best offense in the world with the Nationals. Maybe their good luck is starting to catch up to them. Not as bad as the fucking Giants. Dude, the Giants gets worse and every single week. I'm like, they're bound to have a good week eventually. It's like, nope. Swept by the Diamondbacks, lose 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. Not good. Vitello, is he in the hot seat?
I mean, the Diamondbacks are so bad.
The Giants.
Or the Giants, where you're just like, I don't even think they're worth looking into. So, like, Vitello, they've played 20 straight games against the Diamondbacks, right? Ketel Marte is a switch hitter, but he's a much better hitter right-handed than he is left-handed. His career OPS, Marte's, is 100 points better hitting right-handed than it is hitting left-handed. Back-to-back weeks, Vitello brings in a lefty to face Marte, and back-to-back weeks, Marte hits home runs. So it's like, I mean, Vitello, are you even looking at the scouting report?
Listen, you can't blame Vitello for taking a risk.
I guess the numbers do say, he's only hitting a home run off a lefty every 12 at-bats.
The numbers do lie.
So maybe this is going to be like every 11th or 11 times out of 12.
You got law of averages. Okay? If he hits a home run every time against lefty, the next time he might not. Law of averages. Eventually, it's got to turn. So he got unlucky, made the wrong decision in the wrong. He made the wrong decision at the wrong time. So it's
but it could have been the wrong decision at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he was going for. I know it's the wrong decision, but it's the right time.
The big takeaway for me for the Giants is even though you lose, 5 out of 6 games, you lose a series to the Rockies. Rafael Devers is officially above league average in WRC plus and OPS plus.
Hell yeah. Giants won the trade. And we can build on that, Giants. Let's go into next week with a positive attitude, and let's try to turn this thing around. And okay, we're playing the Brewers. They already stomped us 16-2. But, today's a new day.
The Brewers had Pablo Sanchez in the stands. It's kind of unfair.
Yeah. Backyard baseball's relaunching. You going to get that game?
Maybe, yeah.
You excited?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got into baseball. I actually learned how to read from Backyard Baseball. They had the hitting stat, the bios on the guys.
Yeah, we could tell.
And I was like 4 years old, and I was like learning how to read.
That's why the only thing you ever know is dumb fucking baseball stats. Fast forward. All right, so Rockies, last team, only team we haven't talked about. I'm tempted not even to talk about them, dude.
I think we should skip them. There's really nothing of note.
I'll make a timestamp for him. We don't have to talk about him.
Rockies.
Rockies.
Do better.
The biggest thing from the Rockies this week was Eric Karros is the color commentator for the Dodgers, and his son is on the Rockies.
Awkward.
And in a big blowout, Miguel Rojas was pitching, and he allowed a home run to Kyle Karros. And Eric Karros said that Miguel Rojas is his favorite player now, of all time. It used to be Sandy Koufax, and now it's Miguel Rojas.
Wow. Oh, wow. He's rooting against his own team.
So I think...
Wish I didn't have the camera on you when you did that.
I'm not trying to hide. I'm just got a little sniffies. So what else, dude? We'll end it on that. Any predictions going into the next week?
I don't even know who's playing who. I haven't started that yet.
I know that the Braves are playing the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays.
I know that the Phillies are playing the Padres again. And I know the Dodgers are playing the Diamondbacks.
You think the Padres are gonna sweep the Phillies?
No.
You think the Braves are gonna sweep the Blue Jays?
Yeah. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shohei no hitter.
I wouldn't put my money on it.
Because you don't have any money, bitch.
Putting money on a no hitter just seems fucking stupid.
I think it's one of the worst bets you can make.
Right. But imagine, like, somebody's won it. Imagine that day. Imagine. I'd buy the dumbest shit I could find.
After like 185 days straight of betting on a no-hitter and losing thousands of dollars, they finally hit.
Probably. Or they just got lucky once.
Astros just got one.
Did they?
You lost a lot of money not betting on that shit. All right, y'all. That's all for this week. Come back next week and you'll find out what happens in the Dodgers game, in the Phillies game, in the Rockies.
And this episode's BD Philanthropy.
Yeah.
This episode right here. They can donate right now.
Yeah. We're going to put the fundraiser below.
Project Béisbol.
Project Béisbol. Please make our dreams come true by being able to sponsor a team, and we'll win the championship together, dude. It's all about helping out and winning. All right. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.